Yo, what up, fools? What is going down? Welcome in the most underrated podcast. You already know the homie Dalton Antonio chilling across from me. Not like physically, but actually, I guess you are chilling across from me, just virtually across from me.
This is as physical and virtually as it gets right now.
What up, bro? How's it going?
Oh man, good to go. I got a few things to share for you, and I don't know. As I was waving to you, check out that arm a little bit right there.
Yes, I saw your username, Dalton Antonio. So I was wondering what that was about. I figured you would fill us in.
We'll go into
shout out
that.
to everybody in the chat, man. Dalton Ward's in there. Kim is in there. Adam EB, Fail Beast, Anna Chop. What up? How you guys doing?
What up, fools?
Yeah, man,
we'll get
to all that stuff, the Last Dance stuff. We got some sneaker stuff to talk to you guys about, of course. Let me rearrange my lineup here. There we go. UFC 249 this Saturday. Some NFL news, different things there. Don Shula passing away at age 90. A lot of stuff to hit on the show today as everyone comes in the chat. Man, Josh Cheek is up in here. What up, bro? Ochi, what is going on, my man? Sports
Ochi,
Plus
man.
Life. Man, how you doing,
Ochi,
bro?
I just talked to Ochi, man, finally yesterday. God damn, I haven't heard from that guy. He's he's had some family stuff. I won't get too far into it, but he's had some family stuff. And I'll tell you what, that guy's really turned into a man. He's really having to kind of man up in his personal life, helping out some family members. I'm really proud of him. But damn, I thought he was dead, man. So it was good talking to him yesterday.
I thought he was dead. I knew he probably had. Dude, the COVID shit, if people dropped off the face of the earth during this, you don't know. You can't blame anyone. A lot of people have family stuff going on, serious things going on, stuff they got to take care of. So that's what was going on with him?
Yeah, man. So he's just been working his ass off. Obviously at T-Mobile, he's back on the grind. And again, just some family members that he had to really help out and take care of through this crazy time. So yeah, he's back. He's back.
If you guys are not familiar with Ochi, he helps us out with graphics and different things like that. Misha, $4.99. Happy Monday, fools. Starting off in the super chat. Thank you, Mish.
Oh, wow.
Appreciate you, bro.
I didn't even have my symbol ready.
Oh, were you not?
Let me get this thing grinding here. Hold up.
There you go. And then also in the chat, man, I'll throw it out to you guys. We have the opportunity to run the show, as you've seen, where it goes back and forth, where it's full screen. I'm on the screen while I'm talking. Dal's on the screen fully when he's talking. Or we can do the split screen. And if we decide to do split screen, we're both on the screen at the same time, but then you see us a lot smaller. So you have these two black bars that kind of go across the screen in order just to make it fit. Dal just set it up like that. So this is an example of how it looks on split screen. I was trying to figure out, I was asking my lady, I was asking Dal, like, what do you guys like better as the viewer? Would you rather see both of us full time, or would you rather see us bigger as we're talking and have the cameras cutting back and forth while we're talking? So let me know in the chat, and we can adjust that for you guys as the show goes on. Ochi, I miss you guys too. Life is crazy, man. Can't wait to start life again. Ain't that the truth, Och? Damn.
Sure, no doubt.
Saint Skinner in there. What up, fellas? Or yo, fellas. Dirty DJ. Yo, fellas. What up, Dirty DJ? How you doing?
Every time I hear Dirty DJ, I think of AC/DC. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
Dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
Dirt cheap.
Yeah, dude. Yep.
Well, that should be his intro. When we get back to the studio, Dirty DJ has got his own intro on me.
I like it. Glenn Cabrera. What up, Glenn? How you doing, man? Glenn said, May the 4th be with you. Let me just start there, Dal. Happy May 4th to all the Star Wars fans out there. I'm not a Star Wars guy, but I'm not going to shit on it. It's just not my preference thing, but that doesn't mean, just because I don't watch it doesn't mean it's trash. It's just not my style of thing. So I know there are a ton of people that love it. I personally have never been a sci-fi guy. Even as a kid, I was Monster Trucks, I was Ninja Turtles, and I was wrestling. And I was never G.I. Joes. I was never, what's the sci-fi shit as a kid? Star Trek, Star Wars.
Star Trek. Yeah, you're either a Trekkie or a Trekkie or a Warzy. I don't know how it works.
So that just wasn't my thing. Dal, are you a Star Wars guy? Have you seen them all? Are you just a novice? Are you into it? Where do you fall in this category?
Oh shit, man. I am super, super novice. I think I've seen like multiple movies. like bits and pieces of them. I don't think I've ever seen a full movie through. So I've just been introduced very lightly into, pieces. Like maybe I went to a friend's house when I was younger and they had it on or whatever. Or maybe I fell asleep. I mean, I've fallen asleep during Lord of the Rings. A lot of that fantasy, sci-fi, magical, Harry Potter stuff. It's just not for me, man. The Matrix is about as far as I've gone with any type of sci-fi. You know what I mean? So
That's
for
the
me,
other stuff I was looking for. Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, all that
type
stuff.
of stuff. Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of people that have kids, and so they've gone and watched it with their kids, and it's a big family thing.
Sure.
I don't have any of that, man. We just, we don't share that kind of bond.
Yeah, my family never had any culture, I guess. We were busy.
That's culture.
Yeah,
Star Wars.
We didn't have any culture, I guess.
So may the 4th be with you. Shout out to all the Star Wars cats. I haven't followed anything on social media. Is there anything crazy going on today? I'm sure it's a little nuts.
Yeah, I know. I just think it's trending, obviously, with a bunch of memes and GIFs and all that kind of shit. But on the 4th, I usually try to break out like bread 4 or some type of Jordan silhouette or whatever that has that, and I try to wear that for the day. That's about as the 4th as I go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm really sad about though is
what?
Cinco de Mayo is tomorrow.
I just gonna say that, dude.
And
happy
we're
Cinco
canceled.
de Mayo.
We're canceled.
I know. Happy Cinco de Mayo to all my people to celebrate a day early. I was thinking about maybe whipping up a frozen margarita at the crib tomorrow or something like that, just to try to celebrate. Have my girl whip up some salsa, chips and salsa. She kills it with the homemade salsa. So, but we've already planned it. We're definitely going to have, we got a couple avocados on deck. We're going to make homemade tacos tomorrow and do a little thing for our own little Cinco de Mayo. At the crib.
That's what's up. Yeah, this is the time that I wish I was with my Hispanic mom quarantine. Nothing against Robin. It's just, my mom breaking out the Mexican food on her associated holiday. Man, that sounds like a real win.
You were just over there yesterday and you didn't have her on deck. You weren't like, "Hey mom, can you hook me up a little early? Throw me a little carne asada so I got it for Tuesday. I'm ready to go." You didn't have her give you anything, any prep?
Oh man, I'm gonna sound like a turd burglar here. So first of all, yes, Dalton Antonio is out of quarantine. He went and hung out with his mom and his sister yesterday, and it was really nice, man. I know Mother's Day is this following Sunday, but I actually sold some rims and tires from my old WRX yesterday, and $550 got me out of the house, got me out of quarantine. I'm like, shit, no job. This is taking up space, filling up Robin's love tank to get that shit out of here. I'm gonna go sell those. And it happened to be like 10 minutes away from my mom's house. And I called my mom and I said, "Mom, what's up? What are you doing?" And I'll tell you what, man, she was super excited when I said, "I'm coming by." I don't get up there enough to see her. You know what I mean? I don't do enough for her, with her. And I do feel bad about that. And as before this pandemic started, man, I was getting a little bit better, at least calling her and texting her, and then even getting up there a little bit more. But, with that full-time job at T-Mobile, trying to do this podcast on the side, I just didn't make time. I didn't prioritize. Let me just be honest there. So, when I call her out of the blue, which I've done a few times here lately, oh man, it just gets her excited. She's not expecting it. So, it was great, man. I still had rules. I said, "Hey, Mom, nothing against you. Make sure you got your mask. I'll have my mask. Make sure Kim's got her mask." And I'd love to go inside the house. I would. I'd love to go in your AC house. It would be awesome. How about we just sit outside? How about we just enjoy the sun? The weather was great. It was must have been like 74 degrees yesterday, 75. It was nice and warm. And as we're doing that, I don't know if you can see, man. Do you see what's wrong with my head there?
Oh shit. Dude, scorched earth.
I got hammered. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you'd call this 2nd degree or even 3rd degree. Dude, I got blisters.
It looks like you put your head on a cast iron skillet after you were done cooking eggs in the morning. That's what it looks like.
I did, in fact, yeah. So
that hat doesn't hurt. The snapback on the front of that, dude, that looks painful as shit.
It doesn't, because this is the hat that I was wearing yesterday that got the sunburn around it here.
Oh, gotcha.
Here. So it's perfect. I couldn't wear any other hats.
As long as you put it on right, you're good to go.
I couldn't wear any other hats. I did have to loosen it one strap or one buckle on the strap. But so yeah, we sat outside, man, had a great visit, dude. Of course, we talked a lot about Corona. We talked a lot about kind of what we're doing, what we're not doing, stipulations, this second phase that we're going through, safer at home. And just kind of talking about our experiences through this whole thing. How much media are we watching? How much are we letting that influence our lives? Are we getting out there more or less than what we should or what we think we should? How's our mental states? And it was good, man. It's good to kind of tap into my mom. She's just so easy to talk to, man. And she's one of those people who's not a know-it-all. She's super smart, but she just listens. She just wants to listen. And I'll tell you what, man, there's not enough people out there like that. You know what I mean? In my opinion,
Yeah.
that at least I affiliate with. Everybody kind of wants to hear you, but instead of listening, they're thinking about what they're going to respond with, more than taking in what you're saying and trying to understand that.
I've been guilty of that a million times on this show, right? Even. I mean, trying to do too much and trying to think about what the next thing's going to be instead of, and maybe not giving the best reaction to whoever's talking. Totally. I've been there, done that, dude. I'm guilty as hell.
Check this out. Here's another little lobster tail right here. Look at the arm, dude. Just
Holy
got smoked, fool. So
that's hilarious because you haven't been outside at all during the quarantine. The first day you go out for a little bit, you just get smoked.
Yeah. Dude, first day I go outside, dude, I forget like the elevation and altitude that we're at, and I forget that that the sun exists.
Do you wear sunscreen when you go out?
I do, man. I'm pretty good with sunscreen, especially because I golf quite often. So I mean, I've got sunscreen in the car. I got sunscreen in my golf bag. So I usually have sunscreen with me, and I'm a big advocate of sunscreen, especially with all the tattoos. If you're not using sunscreen on your tattoos, the color just gets sucked right out of it, and it ages them like years.
Yeah, my girl's been on my head about wearing sunscreen, especially when I go outside. Head's all exposed right there. We go to the water park, or even if we're just going to walk Benny, she's like, hey, let's get the sunscreen going. She's been a lot or I've been getting a little bit, I wouldn't say a lot, but I've been getting a little bit better, but she's been on me quite a bit about it. So she doesn't want me to be looking like shit when I'm old, getting skin cancer and getting all messed up. And my mom's Irish, dude, so she's freckled up. She gets burnt like a mug. She's had a little bit of skin cancer. They've had to cut out on the shoulders. She used to go to Daytona Beach back in the day as a young lady, got smoked out there, getting burned. So it is something I got to be cautious of, because before you know it, all of a sudden you're in your late 50s, 60s, and you should have been cautious about it and you weren't. And now you're having to go deal with that shit and get, stuff cut out and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So to kind of put a bow on it, just got to hang out with my mom. My sister got there a little bit later. She was running some errands, so even got a few minutes with her. Her dogs, dude, she's got 2 pits that are just to die for, man. They're in really great shape. They're super muscular, and they just love when Dal comes around. So it was great to see some new pups. And just kind of reconnect with the family, man, especially through a hard time. There's so many people out there right now that can't see their family. They can't be around their family. They can't fly to go see their family. So I felt like I was not taking advantage of an opportunity that I have that, could be stripped from me at any time. So again, to reconnect with my mom was super, super important. So that was great. And to get back to the Mexican food, she offered me Mexican food. She offered me some beans and some other shit that she had laid up. And I was like, I'm in my head. I'm thinking, I don't want to go inside. I don't want to have to sanitize the plates that she gives me in front of her. I don't want to make her feel bad. I don't want to, all my dumbass processes that most people would say, Dow, you're overdoing it. I just didn't want to make her feel weird, by doing that stuff. So I'm just like, oh, Mom, you know what? After this quarantine, let's do that. I'll come back and get some beans and rice. I can't wait until this is over. So I kind of denied some of the Mexican food just because I didn't want to create like any things like making my mom think, oh my God, does he not think that I'm clean? Does he, all this shit. So I was like, oh, don't worry about it, Mom. I appreciate it. Thank you. I love you. And we just kept talking. So that's what I did. Yeah.
Well, man. So to kind of, starting out the show, I wanted to make sure everyone was in here and everything like that. Obviously Jalal is absent from the show. Jalal, if you guys, follow him on social, he's doing his own stuff. He's kind of been, I guess that's been in the works for a while. His own, kind of doing his own thing. And, he's out on his own, doing his own thing. He's no longer a part of our show and what we're doing. And, we appreciate the time when he was here. We appreciate everything that, he brought to the show for the time being.
Mhm.
I had no idea that he was going to go and host the show or do his own show or anything. And we kind of, behind the scenes, we had been for a hot minute, kind of going back and forth on what should we do? What are we doing here as far as wanting to, just different shit behind the scenes. I don't want to give everyone's business out, but I also want to be authentic with you guys,
Right.
So it's very hard for me. And I thought everything was amicable, and that's, I thought everything was going to be on good terms, leaving on good terms, and everything was going to be cool, but, maybe not. I don't know. He wished us the best. I wish him the best, but now he's no longer following us on social media. And I don't know, dog. I don't have time for any, you know what I mean? If he wants to go do his own thing, do his own thing. We're going to continue doing our own thing. And, you guys as the audience is what I want to protect, because you guys are what is special. You guys are what make the show what it is. You guys are always what have made the show what it is. And when I bring someone onto this show, when I bring people in here and introduce them to our world, I do that out of love. I don't do that. I want to make sure if people are good for the show, they're good for the show. But he wanted to move on or do his own thing. That's fine. It just can't be doing both, So that's kind of where we had to leave it, man. It just kind of is what it is. I don't really, like I said, I'm not trying to drag anyone through the mud, and I don't want to give out everyone's business and what all the business detailings behind the scenes and what we couldn't come to agreements on and all that shit. But it just is what it is. The agreements couldn't be came to, and that's just what it was. We didn't feel we all, that's the bottom line, man. That's business. In business, sometimes you just can't come to an agreement on different percentages, on ownership, on value, on who brings what. And that's what it is. That's just what happens in business sometimes. So, that's kind of, I don't know if you have anything to add, Del, but that's,
Yeah, no, I think, communication, there's always opportunities for communication, and there were in this case as well. I think when sometimes, you can feel blindsided by things, unexpected things happen, unexpected things change. You even wake up to, unexpected changes. But I think, what you have to understand is, there's no animosity on either party.
I don't have any.
We did great things together, and I'm super excited for Jalal. He's on the verge of of starting something pretty cool. It sounds like his goals are high, and I hope that he's successful in whatever he does. But outside of that, man, TTF and I are still here, and it's nothing to brag about. We built the show, and we'll course correct as necessary, and we'll do whatever we need to do to try to put the best interest of the show always in the forefront. And when we say that means you guys kind of build the show. I mean, from Patreon to the chat, you guys helping us, sending us sending us links to shoes.
Shit,
I mean,
that's what I'm,
shit.
right.
Like, I feel like we win, even though there's, an opportunistic situation and maybe a negative situation in some rights that happen. But, we still have the show. We still have you guys and TTF and I mean, we still have each other, and, we've been friends for a long time, and, we do well together, and, I'm happy about that.
Exactly. Some reaction in the chat. A lot of people kind of stunned. Yeah, man. Was, that's just,
we all are. Yeah.
Brian Jackson, TTF bomb. Got to do what you got to do, though. Keep it pushing. You'll be better for it in the end. I think it does push you a little bit. It pushes Dal to Dal's really, I guess we can go there with the show. As far as the future of the show, I mean, we're still continuing the show. Even if Dal and I get jobs, we're not quitting the show. We're going to continue the show. We're going to find a way to do the show. I don't know if it'll be twice a week. I don't know exactly, especially from the jump as I'm getting acclimated to the new job, or you're getting acclimated or whatever. But continuing this normalcy, Mondays and Thursdays, twice a week kind of shit is what the goal is. If we can continue to do the show twice a week, continue to keep things the way they are, and continue to grow, that's what we want to do. So that's kind of that's kind of where we're at with it. Nothing is going to change from that standpoint, regardless of jobs or whatever. But Dal has always been I don't want to say I like pushed you into this show, but let's say when we first started, this goes back for people. So I'll peel the curtain back a little bit. In 2016, was it 2016 when I started the YouTube channel? I think so.
Yeah, something like that.
When 2016, when I started the YouTube channel, it was Dallas that really gave me a violent shove into starting this channel. Not like a little push, like, hey man, let's get this going. Like, bought me a camera, said, here's the shit, let's get it going. Start making some damn sneaker vlogs. You got the personality to do this. Everyone is going to really enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy this. I see these fucks out here on YouTube annoying me. You can do better. I want to see what you can do. Here's a camera. And for that, I'm eternally grateful, Dallas, that you gave me that like push off the edge. And also, you were a part of the channel from the inception, from the T-Mobile days to us going to Cop Sneakers, to us going to Park Meadows Mall, to us going to, whatever. You were always a part of those vlogs. So you'd pop up on different vlogs here and there. We'd review sneakers together, different shit. Mm-hmm. So that was always a part of it. Well, then it was like, all right, let's start the podcast. Let's do all the, everything there. And as we started the show, you weren't really like a host guy. You were like, damn, I might be better as a behind the scenes, as producing, as doing whatever, that's kind of what it is. So, at that point, I had to decide, or you had to kind of just be thrust into being a co-host, and you've done a great job with that and great job developing that. But I think your real love is the details, the all the little aspects of stuff. And that's not to say, like I said, the show's not changing. It is what it is right now, but who's to say that the show couldn't make another spin some way? It couldn't be more of you being a co-host / producing and doing more of those elements, because that is stuff you enjoy. And that's, if there's one thing I've learned about you, Dal, you really need purpose, and that makes you feel purpose. That really makes you feel purposeful. Yeah. It makes you feel organized, and that's the stuff you love.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I think I could set us up, man, for some good success with maybe producing, and who knows, maybe you get a different co-host in the future. Maybe we do a whole different show, or maybe I can kind of be the fact checker and kind of the detail guy who's pulling up clips for you guys, who's editing some stuff, and just kind of getting some new talents and putting effort in some new things.
Jalal, why would you come, Doc? Hold up, Jalal, why would you come in here and try to give your side of the shit when you have your own fucking show? You can go give your side of the shit on. Like, this is what I didn't want to do, dog. Do you want me to air out everything behind the scenes that you're trying to get an equal percentage of the company that Dallas and I built, when you don't deserve an equal percentage because you haven't been here since the jump and you haven't contributed enough to get an equal percentage, dog? Do you need me to share that? Are you want to twist my hand in this scenario, Jalal? You want to come into my fucking chat and do that, bro? Why? This is what I was trying to avoid. Everyone just to go their own ways. You unfollowed us on social media. You left the most underrated podcast conversation. You deleted your comments from the conversation. You did that, Jalal, after wishing us the best. So what are we talking about here, dog? What do you mean? It's just killing me. It's killing me. Because now we have people like T-Mobile that are saying, all love, Jalal, didn't seem like something you do. So what does that mean? I'm fucking lying? You know what I mean? Now we're in a scenario. It's just, this is really what I wanted to avoid, man. It really is. Like, it's unnecessary. It's really unnecessary. Geez, Dal. We talked about this before the show, man. I really wanted to not go this direction. Like, you see some shit one way, we see some shit another way, and we don't agree. Isn't that business? Can we just move on? No one said you bailed. You started a new fucking show and didn't inform us. Not only you're starting a new show, you're becoming the host of that show. And you didn't tell us anything about it. When I asked you a couple weeks ago, hey, Jalal, do you still want to stick around? Because we couldn't come to an agreement on the percentage, and you knew that wasn't going to happen. So I asked you, and I said, do you still want to be a part of the show, man? Do you still want to be here? Like, if you want to go do your own thing and do your own project, since we're not fully agreeing, I understand. I get that. And what did you tell me, Jalal? No, I'm going to keep rocking with the show. I'm going to continue doing the show. Okay. So and at that time, you didn't think that'd be a good time to tell me, no, I want to continue doing your show, but I'm also going to go start my own show. And I'm also going to be the host of that show. And I'm going to try to build that show off your following in the back of the Most Underrated podcast, the show you built. Because I just looked through the fucking followers on Twitter, and the whole 30, 40 followers scrolling through are all people that we've put you onto, dog. People that are with our show. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. I brought you into this audience, dog. And I felt like that was very disrespectful. So what are we, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense for you to come in here and start crying and trying to let everyone know I didn't bail. These guys kicked me to the curb. These guys didn't want me around. But yet you fucking did some bitch shit and unfollowed us on Twitter. Really? Come on, my guy. It's insane. It's insane, bro. It's just ludicrous. No need to air out the dirty laundry. Well, it's too late, dirty DJ. Guy comes into my chat. What are you doing here? Oh, man.
Well, yeah, that obviously changed the dynamic of the show.
Just crazy, dude.
I mean,
like, it's just crazy.
yeah.
Why? You unfollowed us, bro. Serious question. Why can't he do another show and rock with MUP? If he has time to put in equal effort, I don't know the background, FYI. Exactly. That's the problem, neighborhood. He wanted the equal percentage of the show we wanted. We didn't want to give him that. And so he said he was like, well, you know, it's kind of just is what it is. And we were all just thinking like, all right, we'll just continue along until he does his own shit. And I offered him the opportunity. Do you want to leave the show and work on your own projects? Do you want to do something else? Because there's no way. He started not only a show, neighborhood, he started an entire podcast network, and he's building a ton of other shows underneath that network. Guess what show's not part of that network, neighborhood? The Most Underrated Podcast. He started a whole nother podcast network. Our show isn't a part of that network. He is the first show on that network, and he's building the groundwork for a bunch of other shows underneath, but he wants to keep working on our show. What's the point? To steal our audience? To continue to use our fan base? That doesn't make sense, bro. That doesn't make sense. Does a wrestler sign with AEW and leave WWE and Vince McMahon says, come in here Monday night and do your last show on Monday? No. They just split ways, and it is what it is. That's business. They didn't come to terms. But you're not going to build a whole network and still fucking use our show when our show's the biggest shit you're a part of, when a bunch of the followers you have are from our show and they're going to be listening to your new show and your new network. Like, doesn't make sense. We're not getting anything from that. I can't even get a fucking Most Underrated Podcast in your bio, Jalal. You didn't even tag our like, come on, my guy. So that's why you can't do both. That's exactly why. Thanks for the additional details. Gotcha. No problem. I'm sorry if it came across fucking a little too passionate, but it is what it is. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. He can go do whatever he wants. TTF, this is some old school WWF New World Order. Two fly dandelion. Let me get to some of these comments, man. I need to I'm done venting on it. It's over with. It's just insane. You got to, okay. Sorry, Dow.
All good, man. All good.
You know me, bro. I don't have a lot of chill. Yeah, I just don't have any chill when it comes to certain stuff. I just can't bite my tongue. I'm bad at that. It's probably why I'm not the greatest in a corporate environment. I just don't bite my tongue. Hit the blunt and see if that don't change your motherfucking perspective. Some Cat Williams shit. Fuck them goddamn lights. Nice. That's from the very first. Oh, geez, Choner, that's hilarious, bro. No, I'm not smoking weed, bro. I'm not smoking weed right now. That's another thing too. I can't even chill the fuck out because I gotta get this job. I gotta pass the drug test and all this stuff. So I'm not smoking weed. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's that's kind of just what it is there. Let's move on, Dal. I don't have any more time for this. Con Lee, make Robin the producer. $2 in the super chat. What do you think, Dal? What do you think Robin would say?
She would, you know what, man, she doesn't eat where she shits. I'll leave it at that. She wouldn't do it. No way.
That is hilarious. Misha, room for a Denver-based co-host, you say? I like that.
Nice.
Oh, Mish. Good shit. All started after Dow got those Fear of God ones. Philly Mayor. Oh, I'm fucking dead.
I know. Which we do have in studio today. So yeah, I'm excited to show those. But yeah, Fear of God ones change everything.
Everyone's telling me deep breaths. I know, fellas. I'm sorry, fellas. You know how I get. I'm passionate.
Mm-hmm.
You can catch a good old-fashioned passionate ass whooping and get your shoes, coat, and your hat tooken. Who's that, Dallas?
Eminem.
There you go. I kind of gave you the voice inflection for it.
Yeah, easy.
Conley, they test for weed even if it's legal. I know, Conley. You're telling me, bro.
They do.
It's like it's an Amazon policy across the board. You got to test clean for everything. Even no THC.
Yeah, so, you're pregnant or you're not, whether you're in Colorado or not.
Right. That's how it goes. Oh, funny stuff. Now let's I'm still cracking up about the sunburn you got. But let's do this.
Oh, it's the worst. Shit hurts.
Let's just start out with The Last Dance. Episodes 5 and 6. What did you think of both of those, and what were some of your takeaways?
Yeah, for sure. So I would start it off with this. Episode 5 and 6 were and are the best that we've seen so far, and maybe the best 2 episodes that we're going to see thus far. I don't know how they're going to end it, because obviously we talked about it. They were still filming episode 9 and 10 and still editing that together. And, they weren't quite done with it. We know that, right? So who knows? They're probably going to cap it off with some great stuff and whatnot. But I mean, to have Kobe, and the tribute to Kobe in there, and having Kobe interviewed in there and talking about, man, Michael Jackson is the reason I got 5 championship rings. You know what I mean? I mirrored everything off of him. I thought that was great. I already knew quite a bit about the Dream Team, because obviously that Dream Team documentary that's aired on ESPN a couple times, I've watched that multiple times. So I was kind of already aware of the kind of changing of guards, right? The Larry Bird and Magic Johnson regime, and then kind of handing it over very, very awkwardly to the Michael Jordan, right? Via that one practice they had.
Yeah.
So that was a nice reminder, but I was also really pumped on, seeing the All-Star weekend, of 1998 New York. It was also cool to see Jordan go back to his Jordan 1s, dude, that he started playing with initially at Madison Square Garden, and kind of did a tribute and wore those again, and talking about how his feet were effing bleeding and when he took those off. So, man, there were so many gems in this. I really enjoyed these 2 episodes. My favorite, bar none so far, and I don't know if it gets any better. There was just so much great stuff.
I think in the chat, that's exactly what I was going to hit on. Dalton, the way MJ hid the Reebok logo on the Dream Team was so great. I loved that. He was so, if you guys didn't catch the episode, spoiler alert, I'm sorry, we're obviously talking about it. They were required to wear these Reebok jumpsuits. Reebok had paid millions of dollars to get the sponsorship for the Dream Team in 92. Well, Michael Jordan, obviously being a Nike athlete, and Michael is just incredibly loyal. That's something else we know. We learned. Oh shit, my camera just fell over. That's something else we learned about him was the sneaker stuff, and we'll get into that in a second. But Michael is incredibly loyal to his partners, his corporate partners, his family, his team. He's a very loyal guy, and Michael hid they were required to wear these Reebok jumpsuits for the Olympics. In order to receive your gold medal, they said you had to have those jumpsuits on. Well, Michael was like, I ain't displaying the Reebok logo. I'm just not doing that. For whatever reason, even Nike probably would have been fine with it, but that's just Michael Jordan. Once he's set on something, he's not going to do it, or he's going to do it either way. And he decided, I'm not doing it. And he rolled out with the American flag draped over his shoulder, hiding the Reebok logo. And that was the sickest shit ever, because what's anybody going to say to you? Take the flag off?
Yeah.
Are they going to say, put the flag down? No. Is anyone going to take the flag off you and put it on the floor? No.
Absolutely not.
So there's nothing anyone was going to be able to do to him or tell him. And dude, he's walking by the camera and he kind of winks and give like a little smile. And he's just
he has his little flowers to the side.
Yeah, he's got little flowers. Oh, That was so funny to me. That was I really enjoyed that piece.
And that was not talked about, dude, in the Dream Team doc. So that was some new info.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really cool, man.
Yeah, good point. There was a lot of stuff that if you've seen the Dream Team documentary, there was a lot of stuff that you knew from that. But that one was a brand new piece. Getting into the shoes, Conley, Chicago ones made his feet bleed. Ones so damn uncomfortable. Dude, I would disagree in the fact that just to wear a pair of ones, to just walk around, I think they break in amazing. I think the shoe is pretty damn comfortable to roll around in. I'm not saying it's Boost, don't get me wrong, but it's not a Jordan 2. It's not a Jordan 5. It's not a Jordan 6. Not even close. Those are uncomfortable Jordans. I guess a 5 isn't bad, depending on the 5 you have. I just don't like the creasing of the 5. But a 6,
6.
The one of the
6
worst.
Is like cardboard on your feet.
Absolutely one of the worst Jordans. So a Jordan 1, I don't think is that uncomfortable. Now, to play in, couldn't tell you. Never played ball in a Jordan 1. And that is where he said, dude, my feet, I took off my shoe and my sock was bloody. The whole sock.
Covered in blood.
Yeah, it was like the Kurt Schilling Boston Red Sox deal. Remember that? The bloody sock?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
With his ankle, all that stuff, early 2000s. Michael Jordan said his foot and his sock were just soaked in blood. And from the Jordan 1 playing in there. Everyone's feet are different. So what hurts different people's feet may be perception. Maybe some people love 6s. I don't think they're super comfortable. I don't know. That's just not for me. But I thought that was great how he talked about he went back and wore the Jordan 1. Like, what was it, the 10th anniversary? No, it was 13 years because he had the He Got Game Jordan 13s sitting next to him in the locker room when he was lacing up the Chicago Jordan 1s. So he brought it back. He brought it back to kind of see what was good.
Right.
With that. What did you find interesting, or did you want to hit on anything there? Before I move into
obviously
Adidas stuff?
Obviously, you talk about the Chicago ones. They have gone stupid crazy on StockX. Like some sizes are damn near $1,400, dude, from the 2015 Chicago ones. It's amazing what this documentary has done to the Jordan 1 Chicagos. It's unbelievable, man. So if you were ever going to pick up a pair, you just better fucking wait until Nike actually does a restock on them, because the resale is ungodly amounts right now.
Insane. Well, another thing we learned, and some of you guys may know this, some of you, it may be new information to you, it was to me, Jordan was really, his agent, not his agent, I'm sorry. A lot of people in his life were pushing him towards Converse, because that was the go-to basketball sneaker at the time. Converse was running the game. Bird was on Converse. Everyone big was on
Magic
Converse.
Johnson.
Magic was on, yep.
Dr.
And they all had their colorways, Dr. J, exactly. They were all Converse. So everyone's pushing them towards Converse. Well, Jordan was like, I'm an Adidas guy. I love Adidas. I want to go have a meeting with Adidas. I love Adidas. And his agent was like, whatever. Okay. Well, let's go see what's good. They went and had a meeting with Adidas. And I guess Adidas was going through a rough patch during that time. They just were not as stable of a company. And the whole deal was Michael Jordan wanted his own sneaker. He wanted his own sneaker line. That was the deal. If you're going to sign Michael Jordan, we need a sneaker line. Adidas was like, we can't facilitate a new silhouette right now. We can't facilitate a brand new sneaker. We just can't do it. It's not in the budget. Well, do they look like morons? You should have bankrupted your company. You should have borrowed money from whoever to get that done. So Michael wanted to go to Adidas, and he ends up not signing with Adidas because they tell him no. They basically just say, we can't meet the demand. We can't do it. So, dude, doesn't it just sound funny, dude, right now too? Michael Jordan and Adidas, like, it just sounds hilarious. Because of what we know.
Can't see him wearing any like superstars and whatnot. It just seems so like shell toes. It seems so weird to me. But the thing I would say about that as well, like, shout outs to Michael Jordan's mom, dude. I think her name is Dolores, right? Yes. Dude, shout out to her, because she was the one pushing for Nike. Hey, you need to go. You're going to get on that plane. You're going to go listen to what they have to say, period. That's what it is. And he credited his mom saying, like, she made me get on a plane. She made me go see what they had to say. And it was crazy because Nike at the time weren't known for basketball by any stretch of the imagination. They were really known as cross trainers, maybe, but they were specifically, their notoriety came around track and field. like running shoes.
Exactly.
Track specific, which I didn't know. That was cool.
Well, dude, did you know the swoosh is modeled after half of a track? That's what the swoosh represents, right?
I didn't know that. That's tight.
So Nike was all in on track, dude. And I was at Roselli's watching the documentaries last night. So I'm over at Roselli's house, and he had back in the day a Phil Knight, the creator of Nike, went to Oregon, and he was handing out like hand stapled catalogs of their shit at first back in the day.
Oh, wow.
Roselli used to have one of those, dude. One of those old school first Nike, and it was all out of track shit because that was their main branding was track. It was Oregon. It was Steve Prefontaine. It was running. Remember that shit?
Yep.
And oops, my bad. My camera I just keep knocking my camera over.
Dang, what's going on with your, you need a new stand, dog. What's up?
I know. I adjusted some shit today and I made a bad move. Let's just go back to the back setup or the old setup. Gotcha. But anyway, so Michael couldn't sign with Adidas. His mom, like you said, tells him, you better take that damn meeting with Nike. Stop messing around. You got to go listen to at least what they say. You know, she doesn't say it in those terms, but she says it in a nice motherly way. Like, Michael,
sure,
you need to go at least hear what they have to say. And I told Roselli last night, I was like, what incredible parenting to have your kid go to North Carolina. He's killing it. He's drafted super high. Nobody could tell me nothing. She still has the parenting to say, no, this is not how we do shit. And his parents are so intelligent, very intelligent people, very well-spoken. And they said, no, this is not how we do stuff. You're going to go take that meeting. And thank God he took the meeting with Nike, because at the time they said the top superstars were getting about $100,000 for a sneaker deal up front. Michael got $250,000, which was pretty crazy at the time. Nike made him more than double what anyone else was getting, $250,000 at that time. So Michael takes the $250,000. They develop a whole shoe line for him. They're going to give him everything he wants. And boom, what do you know? The rest is history. The thing I thought that was great. Did you hear the part where the guy, the head of Nike, or the guy that was working for Nike at the time, was like, man, Nike was just hoping that they could sell, I think it was $3 million worth of Nikes within the first 3 years or 5 years, something like that. 5 million in the first 3 years, or three in the first 4.
By year 4. Yep. By year
3
4.
million in the first 4.
Yep. And then in year 1, they actually sold 126 million.
There it is. 126 million in 1 year. Year 1. And their goal was 3 million in 4 years. How badass is that shit?
Yeah.
Also,
what was badass, which I didn't know where this came from. I didn't know where this stemmed from, but the term Air Jordan came from Jordan's agent, dude, David Falk, who said Air is associated with Michael in the air because of his vicious dunks and how cool he was in the air. And it was kind of a cool factor. And then obviously using his last name for the signature shoe. So David Falk, Jordan's agent at the time, came up with Air Jordan as the idea, and it obviously stuck. And look at where it is today. That's really cool.
So cool, dude. That part was great. You text me 20 minutes in. You're like, oh, it's the best episode yet, because it's all about sneaks, and we're 20 minutes in. So I really enjoyed the behind the scenes of all the sneaker talk, all that stuff. What'd you think of the gambling stuff? They got pretty heavy into Mike's gambling. Yeah. And even from behind the scenes, you saw him in the locker room pitching quarters with the security guards, with stadium officials in the arena 4 hours before the game. He's in there chilling in his suit, and he's in there pitching quarters for money.
Yeah. It's hard because obviously it is gambling. It's associated with it. It's a problem, but I don't know what the bigger problem with Michael Jordan was competition the bigger problem, or was it gambling? Because the two kind of run hand in hand, and he did one because of the other, but how much he did it was pretty crazy, man. On the golf course, I didn't think of the gambling too much. When he went to the golf course, this guy was in the limelight all the time. This guy could not get away from from publicity by media, anybody. I mean, this guy was an international hero, dude. And for him to be able to have that opportunity to golf and kind of be a man and hang out with your friends and be a man with all your friends in golf. I tried to look at it more that way. But then as I look at things and you hear things and you read things, of course, Michael Jordan's dad was murdered. And obviously the individual responsible for the actual murder, in trial and jail, that whole thing. But, there's still rumors even today that Michael Jordan's gambling and some of his debts and his father's debts have something to do or could have something to do with that murder. And again, those are all rumors. It's hearsay. You never know. But his gambling problem was real. And as we look at it today, whether it's, being with a Kardashian and or dating and being at strip clubs all the time and whatever it is, I mean, every person in this world has a vice or has a problem or has an opportunity to do better. And Michael Jordan, he was always shown to be that good guy, that happy guy. He had that great image, Gatorade, created for him. I want to be like Mike and all this stuff. And it was interesting where the episode kind of turned to this gambling and made it kind of darker and really showed the imagery of kind of his personal life and the planes playing cards with Ron Harper. And yeah, man, it was interesting. But if gambling's the worst thing you're doing, I think you're probably all right. Like you said, man, my kids don't go without food. My family doesn't go without food. Everybody's taken care of. It's just something I do, So I think he handled it well. But again, who knows? We don't know the fine lines of it,
Right. Yeah, it's the gambling stuff. People are saying he's a degenerate. It's hard to say because it's like once he said that, am I addicted to gambling? No. Am I addicted to competition or competing? Absolutely. And that really struck me in a way because Dal, you know me, dude. I'm one of the most competitive people you'll probably ever meet. I enjoy competing. I enjoy winning. I'm very competitive. So I can relate to Mike in that aspect as far as like, I've been that way at casinos. I don't have the bankroll he does. I don't have the money he does, but it's hard to say, was he addicted to gambling because he does have so much money. He could lose 57,000. He could lose 1.2 million. Doesn't really mean shit. The guy's got a lot of money. So is that a gambling addiction? Some would say, yeah, and then on the other hand, some would say no, because like he said, am I hawking my championship rings? Can my kids not eat dinner? Is my wife leaving me? Do I have to sell my house? To him, that's a gambling addict. That's what addicted to gambling is to him. So I guess it's all about your perception,
Right.
So very, very interesting stuff.
Right. That's true. At that time, you wonder if that time he took off and went and played baseball, I know he was mentally drained. They talked about that in the documentary. He was mentally.
Well, we're going to get into that the next episode. It looks like.
Yeah. And physically, mentally drained. And then obviously as your last year, and then you take some time off, a couple of years off, go play baseball, you do some other things. Who knows? I mean, he might have had some issues with gambling that would have or could have came up if he would have stayed. I mean, those are all things that we don't necessarily know, but it made you think. It at least made me think in the documentary, It's like, I don't know.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying is it's like, I don't think there is a clear answer. I think it's all about your perception of what a gambling addict is.
How about when they asked him, like, well, are you betting on your team? Are you betting in basketball? He's like, absolutely not. Then all of a sudden you start thinking, oh my God, Pete Rose. You start thinking about some of these other characters that have been caught and been in trouble and been banned out of the Hall of Fame, like Pete Rose, for example. And then you're like, oh shit. Huh.
Right.
Because Michael Jordan is a game changer. He can change a game. He's that type of guy for the good or for the bad. You're like, I wonder, again, I don't believe it, but it made you wonder.
Con Lee, $2 in the super chat. Wonder if MJ ever bet on his own games. He was such a degenerate. There you go. So Con Lee, obviously his perception of gambling, he thinks Jordan's a degen. But here's what I'll say. As far as him betting on his own games, dude. So I'm sitting there with Roselli last night, and I wish he would have came on the show today. It's a lot harder with the Zoom and stuff like that. I'd have to get it all set up over there. But dude, he was telling me, he's like, yo, I heard that. So Jordan, we're in the middle of this weird, like part in the documentary where he's getting really, really burnt out, and it looks like he's about to take, and he's going into his hiatus with baseball. So Conley said also in the chat, surprised they didn't talk about his dad or his dad's death. That's going to come next. His dad's going to die in the next episode, and then he goes to baseball. That's where he makes the trip to baseball. If you want to get a little jump on that and you don't want to wait till next Sunday, there's an awesome 30 for 30 I highly recommend you check out. It's all about Michael Jordan with the Barons, and it's called Michael Rides the Bus. Check that shit out, dude, because it takes him from Michael Jordan kind of down to a minor league baseball player. And they're going to show some stuff, I assume, from that doc. But if you want to get a little bit of a jump on it, check out Michael Rides the Bus or Mike Rides the Bus. And on ESPN, it's a 30 for 30 that they did. Did you see that one, Del?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It like brings Jordan back to reality. It's weird.
So that's a good episode to check out. But yeah, man. So as far as betting on his games, we're talking, me and Roselli are talking, and he's like, yo, dude, I heard a lot of rumblings that he had to go have meetings with Stern because he was betting on basketball. And I heard everyone from Andrea Kramer to different reporters covered his ass and covered for him a lot back then during that time period. That's what Roselli was telling me. And he lived through this time heavy. We're talking about Roselli. He paid $75 to go see Jordan play at McNichols. He used to, back in the day, he's like, that was the most I ever paid to go see a basketball game. I thought it was nuts at the time, but he's like, I went and did it. The first 2 minutes into the game, he got there was a missed shot, or he made a layup at one end of the quarter. He made a dunk or something. Came down. Someone missed the shot. Jordan got the rebound. He said he looked like he took like 4 steps. Boom. He was already down to the other end of the court, laid it in, and it was 4 points before the team even knew what the hell happened. And he was like, my uncle was like, holy shit, this is worth the 75 already. That's why they call him Air Jordan, you know? Mm-hmm. And so he was very involved in that time, just around heavy into the sports game. He has a Michael Jordan Sports Illustrated that he took downtown to the hotels where the Bulls stayed and tried to get signed multiple times. So he was one of those people outside the hotels when they were saying Michael had to deal with press before the game. Then he had to deal with all the teammates and all the coaches, play the game. Then he had to hit the press after the game. Then he'd have people hanging on and like following him like a swarm of bees on honey, following him to the end of the fucking arena. He left the arena. Then he'd get to the hotel. You'd have people hanging outside the hotel trying to hound him, get autographs. That was Roselli. Roselli was heavy in the autograph game back then, the sports memorabilia game. So when he said that, I was like, oh man, I would love to hear some dirt on that. So there are people out there that think Michael did bet on basketball, and they think that's why he ended up taking this hiatus. Not only because of his dad's death and because it was his dad's dream to go play baseball, but he was in some hot water with the NBA, and they had to cool some shit down from gambling on games. That's what I've heard as well. So I don't know, I don't know that that's going to come out in the next episode, but interesting stuff.
Those are the rumblings.
Right. Exactly. Rumblings. Let me hit some of these. Dow's Vices, the Sakai Waffles neighborhood.
I still need a pair of those. God damn it. Should have never sold the green.
Kim, Thomas Trout, some Pure Spectrum tincture real quick. I'm confident it'll help you. I need to. I should have my girl come bring me some of that. Drop some CBD in the mouth. Conley, him and Barkley used to play blackjack pretty big in Vegas. What'd you say?
Yeah. I was gonna say, do you need me to come do some curbside drop off on some Pure Spectrum?
Dude, so yes, I probably do. We really do. We really do need some of that. He was a toned down version of the players before him. They were all on coke binges with rooms full of strippers. Let me hit that really quick, J-Dub. That's J-Dub killing kicks. What up, man? Okay, so that's funny because did you see the part where Jordan's sitting? I don't know if they're in the training room or the locker room. I can't remember. And he's talking to the players about, he's smoking the cigar. And he's talking to the players about smoking cigarettes. And he's saying, oh man, these guys were smoking. He's like, you should have seen it way before you got here. You should have seen it when I first got here. These guys were smoking cigarettes at halftime. And that was just crazy. That popped a memory in my head of Super Bowl I. Have you seen that photo floating around on social media today? It is the Chiefs quarterback, Len Dawson, from Super Bowl I, dude. If you can Google it, just Google Len Dawson cigarette. And you'll pull up a picture of Len Dawson sitting there smoking a cigarette at halftime during Super Bowl I, dude. Can you imagine that today? A quarterback or an athlete sitting there smoking a heater at halftime of a game or pregame.
Oh, geez. Unheard of.
That would be nuts. I remember, like, it's funny if you guys have ESPN Classic and you go back and watch some of those old games from the Boston Garden or from Madison Square Garden, and you see like those old games in the 70s where you were still allowed to smoke indoors and shit. There's people sitting courtside smoking, and then they pan away, they do the wide shot of the arena, and you just see the smoke hovered up across the top of the arena. It's just smoky as hell. It's just so crazy to think about. That what a different time. And it's funny that they thought that gave them a boost. Like that was a good boost for them.
No doubt. Well, Winston cigarettes were one of the biggest sponsors of the United Center in Chicago. So,
just really?
To show you. Yeah, for sure. Winston cigarettes.
Winston, dude. Remember when NASCAR used to be called Winston Cup Racing?
Oh,
it was called Winston Cup, dude. That was the very
20,
first, like,
25
big,
years, 30 years
shit,
ago?
at least, dude. I mean,
Longer?
it was. Yeah. I think it changed from Winston Cup to like Sprint or the Nextel series in the early 2000s, like right after Dale Earnhardt died, or maybe right before, like 99. Earnhart died in 99. But yeah, Winston. That's funny. Winston. Forgot all about Cup. Winston. Yep. Smoking on planes with some mad shit. That was, I can't imagine being alive in an era where people were smoking on planes. You have nowhere to go. You can't crack a window. There's nothing you can do.
Right.
You're just in that bitch on a plane in a tube flying through the air, just inhaling massive amounts of cigarette smoke.
Yeah, and planes recirculate that air. Oh my God, that's bad. That's bad news.
That would have been nuts, dude. Fail Beast. The gambling was dark at that time. There was a suggestion he served a ban and took 2 years off. I remember as a kid. That's exactly what I was talking about, Fail Beast. There you go, dude. That's exactly what my uncle was telling me. And my uncle's not, he just generally knows what the hell he's talking about. He's not a guy that just says shit. And like I said, he was heavy in the game at that time. So I'm very interested to see if I don't think that comes to light in the next episode. Do you? I think it's all about his dad's death, and that's why he went to play baseball. I don't think they bring that up.
It's all about the changeover. Yeah.
Again, in these two episodes, 5 and 6, it really hits hard on Jerry Krause, how he wants to dismantle the team, and how the 97-98 season will regardless be Phil Jackson's last season. And then last night in those episodes, he doubles down and says Michael can go with him if he doesn't want to be here.
Right.
Phil will not be here. And if Michael doesn't like it, he can go with him. How insane of a statement from Jerry Krause. If he doesn't like it, Michael can go with him.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge. I mean, the ego that Jerry Krause had to have, and I know he had a hard childhood. They kind of touched on that with the documentary, but man, that guy had that little man complex syndrome, like to a T, no doubt, to be able to not only get rid of your coach who's given you obviously the 3 championships, and then, to just be like, hey, yeah, the best player in the league, the best player of all time, which they hadn't seen quite yet, I would assume, but knew that he was obviously targeted for that. But man, what an ego. That's just crazy to me.
That's the exact perfect word for it. Ego. And I'll tell you what, it's not like that was an easy team to coach. It's not like Phil Jackson. It's just because Phil Jackson had Michael Jordan. It was easy. And it was like, I don't have to do much. Phil had to work his ass off, keeping those personalities together, keeping all those guys straight. We saw the Indian, some of the hippie Indian stuff that he brought in on the last episode, on episode 4. But dude, to think that anyone can come in and just run this like Phil did was insane of Jerry Krause. But I'll tell you, so Michael Jordan, obviously, I'm not saying Michael made Phil's job hard, but it was just a hard job. Those personalities are hard. But I'll tell you who Michael Jordan, you know what I noticed in the documentary last time is who was smiling more than anyone was David Stern. Michael Jordan made that guy's job so damn easy, dude. That guy didn't have to do shit when Jordan was running the league. Jordan took that league from where it was to global popularity. He took it to crazy brand name heights, brought in McDonald's and all these huge brands that the NBA had maybe dabbled with before, but it was nothing on the scale of what Jordan brought. Jordan single-handedly made David Stern's job the easiest job in the world. And he got paid so much money during that era too. For doing what? Michael ran it, dude.
Yeah. David Stern, I think his biggest accolade was obviously bringing the global invasion of all the international sides to the NBA, the Tony Kukoc coaches and the Detlef Shrimps and all that joints at the time. But yeah, Michael Jordan was so good with his marketing and his team and bringing Nike and these big brands, and he made these brands even bigger. Gatorade for shit, man. And then Gatorade ends up being like obviously one of the biggest sponsors of the NBA. Yeah, man, he threw Stern a bone, and that's probably why Stern had these week to week meetings with them saying, Jordan, like, look, dude, I can only protect you so much. Thank you, but geez, get your shit together,
Bird used to smoke in the tunnel from T-Mobile.
Dude, Bird probably did that, and he was a big Budweiser guy. Larry Bird chugged the shit. I remember Charles Barkley saying, "Yeah, man, you don't drink with that old Larry over there. You won't wake up right the next morning. Larry Bird was a big Budweiser drinker."
Speaking of Larry Bird, look what I scooped last night from Roselli's crib, bro. The Larry Bird. Wow. The Larry Bird McDonald's Dream Team Cup.
Yes.
Collectible. Look at that.
The McDonald's joint. Yes.
Yes, dude. Look at 2 of 10. Look at it. Tells you right there. Bam. 2 of 10 wow. Collector's cups. It's the Larry Bird joint, dude. Bam, right there. Larry Bird. That's crazy. If you remember this era, I mean, you remember the hilarious Larry Bird, Michael Jordan horse commercials. You remember those?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Off the backboard, off the wall, off the roof, bounce it in. All that stuff was just, that's classic. It's a classic time.
That's tight. God, so, man. Yeah, and at that time, 92, when the Dream Team, Larry Bird was kind of on his way out of the league because of back issues, correct?
Exactly. Right? Yeah, dude. He was on the Dream Team more as like, in 92, he was more like a nostalgic kind of, he was just leader there, kind of thing. Yeah. He was there because of what he had done, not what he could contribute at the time. Yeah. His back issues started flaring up.
Right. You know who wasn't there, which we can talk a little bit about because obviously super controversial? Isaiah Thomas wasn't there. And they kind of touched on that last night, which I thought was pretty cool. And in the Dream Team doc, they obviously showed and talked about some of this as well. But, Isaiah Thomas, man, 2 championships back to back, one of the hardest things to do ever, right? There's no doubt about that. Any player, anybody in the NBA that's played for the NBA, played in competition, in general, would tell you that's one of the hardest things to do. 2 championships in a row. Get out of here. That's almost impossible. That being said, we know that Isaiah Thomas had the accolades. He should have been on that Dream Team. But, it's interesting they talk about, because I watched Magic Johnson was on First Take today, and he had his spin on it. You heard Jordan's kind of spin on it. And last night, Jordan finally said, look, man, I didn't make the call. I didn't say Isaiah couldn't play with us. That was not my call. And then Magic Johnson on First Take with Stephen A. and Max, he said, I got to be honest with you, it wasn't me either. He's like, David Stern and whoever the other guy is, I can't remember now who it was, but David Stern and this other guy basically told Magic, like, hey, we need you to do some recruiting. And we need you to recruit Larry Bird, and we need you to get Jordan, because Jordan wanted to do his family stuff. He was too busy, with all his, endorsements and all that shit. He wanted to get out of the limelight for any amount of time that he could possibly do that. So Magic alludes to, hey, my job was just to recruit those 2 guys. I didn't know nothing about Isaiah. That wasn't my thing. But I find it interesting because there's a lot of finger pointing, and there had to have been these guys collectively said to David Stern, whoever else was in charge, saying, like, we're not going to play with that guy. That guy's an asshole. He is the dick. What he did to the Boston Celtics, what he did to MJ and the Bulls, what he did, like the bad boys, the Pistons, they were dicks, and they weren't easy to get along with. And Isaiah was he was a fire starter, and he was not somebody that anybody wanted to play with or play around just because of his attitude, the way he held himself. It's tough because you can't take anything away from his basketball, because when you compare him to Stockton, there's really no comparison. Stockton, Hall of Famer, no doubt. He's awesome. He's great. The pick and roll situation that he had with the mailman is, it's not been replicated as good as they did it. So Stockton brought his own right. There's no doubt about that. But if you're taking Isaiah over Stockton, that's crazy. But it goes back to, Isaiah just couldn't get along with anybody. And that's what everybody's kind of saying without saying who's responsible for it. But I'm wondering, like, who did this? Who arranged this? I'd like to know that. That'd be interesting to me.
Dirty DJ in the chat. Man, I had the David Robinson Cup forever. No idea what happened to it. Dude, this is the only one we have too. This is my uncle's. It's 2 of 10. I was like, what are you doing? You don't have a Jordan? He's like, yeah, that thing was probably insanely hard to get, the Jordan one. But T-Mobile in the chat. TTF, what do you want for it? It's my uncle's. I'll have to ask him, but I bet you he'd sell it to you. It is not DS. It's not even VNDS. I know that's hard to believe. The thing's 28 years old. But yeah, 92. Yeah, it's almost 30 years old, bro. So it's got a couple little cracks just in the outer rim here. I think there's 2 cracks in it. 1, 2. A couple little cracks.
Little super glue fix that.
So not obviously some scrapes, some things like that. But if you really want it, bro, let me talk to my uncle.
That's tight.
Yeah, T-Mobile, if you want it, whatever my uncle wants, I'll cop it. Oh, jeez, there's like this and flip water all over my thing. Anyway, if you want it, dude, I'll see what my uncle wants for it. I'll cop it for you and send it your way, T-Mobile. You've done a lot for the cast, bro. So I will. If you really want this Dream Team Cup, I know you're a Boston guy, you're a Bird guy. If my uncle says he can part with it, I'll send it your way, bro. No charge. Well, I'll pay him whatever he wants. No charge for you, my man. Jordan Dream Team one on eBay for $10. Just check Dirty DJ. That's not too bad, huh? $10. You can get the whole set. Get the whole set, 2 of or all 10 Collector Cup series. Yeah. It's pretty cool too, dude. It has like his little stats or career highlights.
His
down
accolades.
Yeah. Down on there. NBA most valuable player, 84, 85, 86, 12-time NBA All-Star, 1982 All-Star Game MVP, NBA Finals MVP, 84 and 86. Speaking of the All-Star Game, Dal, what about Kobe? The Kobe mention last night. I started tearing up, bro. When the Mamba came on the screen and started talking about Jordan and about their relationship and how he was a big brother to him, I started tearing up, dude. I tweeted that out last week. I was just like, I can't believe that Kobe Bryant is not here to watch this documentary, give his thoughts on everything, and see the guy that he basically see the documentary of the guy that he emulated his game after. I mean, he did everything he did was to be like Jordan.
Yep.
I'm surprised he didn't go to North Carolina. You know, for real.
That's true.
If he would have gone to he came straight out of high school into the NBA.
Yeah,
if he would have gone to college, there's no doubt he probably would have went to North Carolina. He just wanted to be like Jordan so bad. And that's what I loved about Kobe. And that's why Kobe took the torch when Jordan left, and he carried that bitch for so long because he was that kind of competitor. He had the same kind of, I don't want to beat you. I want to smash you. I want to make sure you know why I smashed you. And that's the competitive fire he had, dude. And the talk about Dan Marley last night, Clyde Drexler, just people that he had to embarrass because other people were just comparing him to him. People were like, I think he's, I think he could hold Michael, or I think he could hold Michael one-on-one, or I think he could, this, or Jerry Krause, people that Jerry Krause was looking for, even Tony Kukoc in the Olympics. That was great. Tony Kukoc in the Olympics. Jerry Krause, Tony Kukoc was Jerry Krause's guy. He wanted to bring him in to be like the heir apparent to Jordan. He was almost trying to replace Jordan with Kukoc, it felt like. And Jordan was like, okay, let me just, let me show you, buddy. Let me just go show you what's
him
good.
And Scottie Pippen. Yeah, that was tight, man. They just had the agreement. Him and Scottie Pippen were like, yo, man, we're not going to let this guy score. We're not going to let this guy get anything. I think they held him to, was it 4 points? That first meeting?
Yeah. 3 or 4 points. Something crazy like that.
Something really, really low, and just embarrassed him. But yeah, that was Jerry Krause's vision, because he knew that Jordan obviously wasn't going to stay and play for Phil. Like, I think he deep down knew that. So Krause was on to the next thing, and he had a big boner for Kukoc and was going to bring him for the next Bulls era. He thought he was the next big thing.
This is a good one, Glenn. Don't forget, Krause was inducted into the Hall of Fame when he was dead. Ego was a problem, but he did bring the pieces to win the rings. That's exactly what my uncle said last night. And we kind of went back and forth for a second. I don't have any legs to stand on with my argument, but how I feel is that he got a little bit lucky, bro. I just feel like he got a little bit lucky with Jordan, having Jordan there. Yeah, he brought in Rodman. Yeah, he got Pippen. I understand, but he was a baseball scout. He never did it again. It was a one and done type thing, and it was the best player to ever play. I just can't give the man that much freaking credit. I can't. I understand. I understand what people say, but it's just something inside me can't do it. Can't give him that credit.
And he got lucky with the draft where Jordan fell. Jordan wasn't supposed to fall there.
Great point, Dal.
There was luck there as well.
Great point. So as I see where you're saying, Glenn, my uncle told me the same thing, dude. I see where you're coming from, man, but it's just so hard for me to like be like, who couldn't have done that with Jordan? And Phil Jackson, of what we know of Phil Jackson, but he made the move to get Phil in there. He pushed Doug Collins out, but Doug Collins was a beast too, bro. I think they would have still won some shit with Doug Collins. I don't think it was all the triangle that got him. I think it was the bad boys getting a little bit older. I don't think Phil was beating the bad boys in those first two series either. Those first 2 years. I don't think Phil was getting past them either, dude. They were a tough, physical, great basketball team. And it was just, Mike was very young at the time. So I don't put that on Doug Collins at all.
They talked about that in the documentary Experience, like the Lakers, having to, learn from the Celtics, then obviously Detroit learning from the Celtics, and then the Bulls learning from the Detroit Pistons. There is something to be said about experience and kind of learning what it takes to be a champion, in that league and a championship team for that matter as well, having all the intangibles. And I don't think the Bulls had it, obviously, getting beat by the Pistons. And that was some learning that had to happen. So I'd agree with that.
A couple things in the chat. Monolithic Kicks. Yo, what's good?
What up?
How you doing, man? How you been? Also, my man Armando Silva. Fellas, you should look at Phil Knight's Shoe Dog book. The sneaker aficionados out there, or for the sneaker aficionados out there, it's a great read to learn about Nike. This is what it looks like right here.
Oh, nice.
It is called Shoe Dog. And just everything he said there.
What's a book? Never heard of her.
Shout out to my guy, bro. Shout out to my guy, Jesse. Jesse thrifted this for me back in the certified days, dude. So still have a ton of love for Jesse. Great. Jesse's a great guy. So shout out to Jesse, man, for looking out, caught me, thrifted me, dude, mint condition too. I mean, great condition. No pages ripped, nothing. Way better than this Larry Bird cup. I mean,
does it have any autographs in there?
There is actually. You open the first page and it's autographed by the entire 92 Dream Team. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow. So
but if that was the case,
have you read it yet?
No, I have not. That's what I was just going to say. I need to get this cracking. I've been waiting for like a plane ride, a travel, something. Dang, none of that's been going on lately.
I was going to tell you like, hey, I'll trade you some Pure Spectrum CBD and let me borrow that book for a little bit. But if you haven't read it,
dude, no, if you want to read it first, that's fine, Dal. If you want to read it first, that's fine. Yeah, you can do that, man. Shit, if you're
we'll have to work that out.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm tired of looking at my fucking screens. Like I'm just tired, like going to bed, trying to wind down. I'm tired of screens. I want to look at some pages. I think my eyes hurt, dude. Quarantine's hurting my eyes.
Something about just flipping the pages too feels so good to me.
Gratifying.
I'm the kind of guy. Yeah, dude, exactly. Gratifying. Great word. My Aunt Berta, when I was living with her after my house burned down in 2017, she really put me onto lists hard. And lists, I get the same gratification. My girl and I were just doing that the other day. We make the list. She's like, I'm going to put it on the list anyway. Just all the little things so we can cross them off and feel good. And I feel like turning a page in a book is similar. You're reading a book and you complete that page and you turn the page and there's gratification there. Yeah. And I just don't think you get that from a screen.
Totally. Robin made me a list today of things she needed. She needed the grass mowed. She needed the house vacuumed. And I forget what the other thing. Oh, cleaning my bathroom. I have kind of my own bathroom. Like she has our bathroom is the master, and she has so much product and stuff on the counter. So I'm just like, yo, that's your space. I can't even find my soap. I don't even know what is on this counter. But so I take the other bathroom, like the guest bath, which is on the same floor. So I just walk 10 steps and I go brush my teeth in there. I wash my face in there, and that's my bathroom. But I had to clean that today. So and as I did each one of those, I got to literally cross it off, and it does something for the mind. It really does.
Adam Eby in the chat. Jordan under Collins wins 2 to 3 rings. Phil brings the other 3 to 4. I agree. I'm not saying that Phil wasn't, please, I'm not downplaying Phil at all. All I'm saying is if Phil was the coach instead of Doug Collins at that time, I don't think he's getting past the bad boys either. That's all I'm saying.
No.
That's
Absolutely
all I'm saying.
not.
But I do think Doug would have picked, just like you said, Doug, 2 to 3 rings with Doug. I think Doug picks that up. But yeah, Phil's the Zen master guy. There's a reason he's the all-time winningest coach with passing. Red Auerbach's got 9 as a coach, and Phil's got 11 as a coach. And then Phil also has 2 as a player. You remember that with the New York Knicks. And then Phil has, if you want to count the Guatemalan League, was it Guatemalan? Damn it. Am I pissing people off again? What league was that where he won the title right in 84, right before
Guatemala
I said
sounds
Mexican
right.
League last time, and they got pissed off at me.
You just can't say Mexican League. Yeah. Latin
was it
League.
Guatemalan League?
Maybe do Latin.
Latin League.
Maybe
Nice.
do Latin League.
On Cinco de Mayo Eve. Dal coming through.
I'm trying to put some respect on the Latin. You know what I mean?
Put some respect on it. Let's see here. Honeydew lists are the worst, Conley. Puerto Rico was Puerto Rico. Misha said. Thank you, Misha. Damn it, bro. Yep, Puerto Rico. Anything more you want to hit on in these two, Dal? I think we've kind of exhausted a little bit. We went through everything.
Yeah, no, I'm tired of it. I'm ready for next Sunday. Let's see what we got next. You know what I
mean? I don't know a ton about this, but let's hit some NFL really quickly. And let's go with Andy Dalton. Or I'm sorry, we'll go with the NFL scheduling, and then we'll go Andy Dalton's new contract. So tell me about the NFL and the scheduling. It looks like they're not slowing down at all.
Right. Yeah, they are definitely not, which is crazy. So the NFL, I guess we'll start with this here. I'm trying my production value here. Let's see if we can get this cracking here. Can you all see that?
Yeah, dude, it looks good. Let me hit this really quick in the chat. Your sister Kim, shout out to whoever created the great art of you and Dal behind you, Thomas. I love it. This is the first time I've noticed this. Super dope. Yeah, it is. It is great. It's this lady named Chelsea. I will tag her on my Instagram story later. If you guys want to check her out, she is amazing. If you guys need I should have done this months ago, but I was gonna say, if you guys need a special Mother's Day gift, have her do a little portrait of you and your mom, or just your mom. Oh, she would knock it out the park.
Yeah,
don't be lowballing her though. She does amazing work.
Yeah, she has a very retro style, which I think is like kind of, 80s, 90s Vice City kind of nostalgia for us old fucks. So, if you're into anything like that, man, she's a great one to go after.
I think her name's Chelsea Armin. I'll pull up her app, but go ahead, Del.
And she's local here, which is
local
cool.
Here in Colorado. Yeah.
All right. So, there's a bunch of things happening in the NFL, but I think we'll start off with their first announcement today. And this was sent out by the league this morning to everybody that was involved. But the NFL to schedule all 2020 games in the United States. So the NFL announced, obviously, that they will not be having any games outside of the United States, obviously, due to COVID-19, that type of thing. Roger Goodell kind of made the decision after consultation with our clubs, national and local governments, and NFL Player Association, medical authorities, and international stadium partners. This is a no-brainer to me. Like, I'm not surprised by this, and I would have been surprised if we didn't see this. I think the earlier the better to announce this. But we're talking about no live events, no stadiums. You're not going to have people in there. It's going to be hard enough to get seasons off and running, much less travel and put more risk in planes and all this other stuff, our elite athletes. So this is no shock, and I think this is absolutely the right thing to do. And Roger Goodell, I usually want to shit on him, but no, I think the league did a great thing here, and I'm just absolutely not surprised by this at all. I think the people in the UK, which I would argue that the Jaguars are the home team, in the UK, I think they're probably pretty bummed, and the NFL probably lost some good money by doing this, or by not doing this, I guess you'd say, by not traveling. But of course it's the right thing to do. We've got to put the health of everybody in the forefront. So yeah, that's the first thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Anything,
what do you think? Anything you want to add?
No, I think you hit it on the head. I totally agree with you. I think they did a great job of getting out in front of it. I was going to go to the next subject, but I couldn't find my notes. The $3 million, Andy Dalton. Fill me in on that. I'm not up on all the details of it.
Yeah, this is a crazy one. So obviously, Andy Dalton is now a Dallas Cowboy. He went to his Instagram and
Saw that.
thanked. Yeah,
Saint
thanked
Skinner has got to be very excited.
Oh,
He's got to be
Skinner,
over the moon.
Yeah, I wonder if Saint Skinner. He's obviously got to be from there because I think he lives in California somewhere. But anyways, that whole relationship's weird to me. But I'm sure he's pumped because I'll tell you what, what do they call him? The Red Rifle? Is that what they call Andy Dalton?
Yeah,
Red Rifle, dude. This guy about called him the Red Rocket. Pause. But Andy Dalton, man, I mean, he's technically and still could be and may be, depending on if they get this Dak situation figured out. So the great thing is, Andy Dalton is now obviously a Dallas Cowboy. He has a 1-year contract, and it is $3 million guaranteed, but it is a $7 million contract if obviously he hits certain parameters of the contract, how many plays, this type of all these different details, which I won't get into. You can look that up, but he can essentially make $7 million this year based off of bonuses and other things in there, but he is guaranteed $3 million, man, to sit behind Dak Prescott, which I think is super great. Now we transition this back into Dak Prescott. Still doesn't have a deal. The last numbers that I had heard was around that $30 million. And I think he's looking for somewhere between 33, 35. And he still hasn't signed. So, depending on how long this guy sits out, Dalton starts, Dalton hits the bonuses that he's supposed to hit. This guy has a better team. He's now on a playoff team for sure versus the worst team in the fucking league.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's making decent money. If he hits the bonuses, this guy could be starting quarterback depending on what happens with Dak. Now, I don't think it goes that long. I think the Cowboys and Dak got to come to something before. I really believe that they'll come up with something before the start of the season. That being said, it looks pretty good for Dalton.
Do you find it interesting that he didn't do more than a 1-year deal, considering that if Dak doesn't sign, the Cowboy, not him on his end, but the Cowboys, I feel like they should have at least offered him, hey, at least 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
That way he can just step in and they can have him as a really cheap starter because they signed him to a 3-year or 2-year as a backup. Dak leaves or moves on and they can't come to terms. Business is business, as we just discussed earlier. They don't come to terms.
Sure.
And Dalton steps right in, and now they got a super cheap starting quarterback. I'm very surprised Dallas didn't do it that way instead. Or maybe Dalton didn't want it. That's why I was kind of wondering what the details were of who was lobbying for what. But
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's all you.
Yeah. So, I just think this is just, I think this is Dalton wanting to go back to Dallas and wanting to go back to, to the Cowboys. I think this was a want for him, but I think Cowboys
TCU guy from Texas, you're saying wanting to go back to Texas,
and he said, look, I think this was the Cowboys just saying, hey, let's do a year. Let's just see what he can do. Let's see what happens with Dak. But a 2-year probably wouldn't have been out of the question, but there had to have been something that Jerry Jones wanted to see a little bit more of. And I think based off the Dak situation and the uneasiness, I think there was just a reason they only did a 1 year. But to me, as not a fan of the Cowboys, but just a fan of football and a fan of running a great organization, you need to have a backup plan. Look at what Foles did for the Eagles after Wentz. I think backups are, in this league where you're being hit so hard, and I mean, people are getting concussed all the time. God, man, I think backups should be paid a little bit more, and I think the tenure, depending on the situations, should be looked at a little bit more carefully and in more detail, in my opinion. And this is one of them.
Goat James in the chat, love the move. He will be the starter. He thinks Dak's going to move on. Yeah, Saint Skinner's updating everyone in the chat. Like you said, Dak has not signed the tag. He said Dalton gets $3 million if he backs up all 16 games.
Yep.
So that's not. That's what Dow was saying. That's not too bad, man.
Yeah. So then the $7 million, like with bonuses and depending on how much he plays, like it's not bad, man, to sit behind Dak for $3 million. Shit.
Right. Not at all. Let's hit this NFL story. I don't know if you heard this. This just broke a little bit before we got on the cast a little earlier. Did you see Damien Williams got robbed at his Airbnb in LA, Chiefs running back?
No, I'd heard about it, but I haven't seen anything
So
about
check
it.
this
I know
out,
nothing.
dude. Chiefs running back Damien Williams was robbed shortly after arriving at his Airbnb house in Los Angeles Saturday night. 3 intruders reportedly broke into the property and threatened Williams and other guests before leaving with about $1,000 in cash. Williams was not hurt in the
Wow.
incident. A rep for the 28-year-old told TMZ Sports the LAPD is currently investigating. So that's all we have so far. We know he wasn't hurt. They got away with about $1,000 in cash, and he was robbed at his Airbnb. I've only used Airbnb one time, so maybe you're a little more versed on this than I am, Dal. You remember my Airbnb experience? Awful, terrible pillow, terrible, awful. Me and my lady had a terrible Airbnb experience. Is this a situation where he could have been set up by the people that own the Airbnb?
No, I don't think the Airbnb set them up.
Okay.
Now you do get names, and you do there are things that Airbnb see, obviously, and they make the choices based off of financial records and other things. I mean, they can do whatever they want. They put the contract out, so there is ways that they can see it. To me, this speaks inside job all over. Insurance, inside job. It reminds me of Le'Veon Bell. It was either last year or the year before. Remember the 2 chicks that he was with? Not an Airbnb.
Oh yeah.
Stole like most of his jewelry.
Forgot about that.
This to me, Airbnb, you probably have a little bit of an entourage. To me, this screams inside job. That's what I think. And we'll see what comes to light. I'm not forecasting anything. I'm not trying to put that out there, but I think inside job. I don't think Airbnb. You got to be pretty professional and really, these people out of the town, they're in their like spots where they're retreating. Nobody from the Airbnb is probably there. They're doing everything remotely, contracts online. I don't think the Airbnb set them up, but there could have been an inside job somehow, somewhere. That's what I think.
It's interesting that they only got away $1,000. Like, what are you doing?
Pretty lucky.
And it says thieves, like there's multiple. So 2 or 3 guys splitting $1,000, that's worth it. But I mean, geez, just because the guy is an NFL player doesn't mean he's carrying his NFL salary on him at all times.
Yeah, maybe you should be looking at a bigger, more notoriety in an NFL player than Damien Williams, or maybe that was just an easy hit. I don't know.
Right. Oh, John King made it in. What up, JK? How you doing, bro? John King in the chat. Paul. Oh wait, let me see. Choner posted this in the chat 40 minutes ago, fellas. I know, Chase. I couldn't cut the combo off. We were going in the dream team. I come back, cut it off, and go Damien Williams. We gotta get down the list of our rundown here, guy. Speak patience. We're getting there, bro.
Come on, franchise. Give Chase some credit.
Give him some credit. I mean, for real. That would have, dude, the Phil Jackson drop, we need that during this time.
Oh my God. We need this every Sunday.
Damn it. What was I gonna say? Oh, Paul in the chat. R.I.P Don Shula, the GOAT. Did you see that, Dal? Don Shula this morning.
I did, in fact.
Passing away at 90 years old. And this is a guy that after you start looking through his accolades, I mean, I think we can all agree that Bill Belichick's probably the best modern day coach, right?
Yeah,
but
totally.
As far as I mean, the big names, when you think back about older coaches, you think Vince Lombardi and you think of some of those names. Don Shula's got to be right up there. I mean, everyone knows him for his perfect season, 1972. But there was a lot more to the guy than that. He's the winningest coach of all time. He was an NFL player in the 50s. I don't know if you knew that. He played defensive back for the Browns, the Colts, and Washington from 51 through 57. And then he returned to the NFL as a defensive coordinator for the Lions in 1960. 3 seasons later, the Colts hired Shula to serve as their head coach. That was his first head coaching job, 1963 with the Colts, dude. Crazy stuff.
Right. That's tight, man. Yeah. He was a head coach over 33 seasons, dude. Yeah. Obviously the 1972, not only was it a perfect season, a perfect playoff season, and they ended up beating Washington for the Super Bowl. I think it was 17-0
It was
if I remember correctly. Yeah.
17-0. Yep.
So, I mean, it's just, he never could get a championship with our boy, what's it? Dan Marino. Damn it. But, because I think Dan Marino is obviously deserving of that. But, he retired after the 1995 season. Right now, cause of death is unknown, but he was said to have gone peacefully. So that's good, man. Anytime you can go peacefully versus tragically, especially in the times that we're in today, that's a great
I'm glad
thing.
the media didn't pop up and call it COVID.
Yeah, no shit, man. I'm sure somebody will eventually. Jeez.
Right. So R.I.P to Don Shula, man. One of the greatest of all time
to do it. Yeah.
Yep. 90 years old though. Great life. Not tragic by any means. What's the first thing you think of when you think Dan Marino, Dallas?
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Same, dude. I don't know why. I don't even think football. Dan Marino, when someone says Dan Marino, right away it's, hey Ace, you got any more of that gum? That's none of your damn business. Weird guy, Ace. Weird guy.
Totally.
That's
I think
exactly
about
what
the isotoner commercial that he's shooting in
isotoners. Good one.
Oh man. The two big football players, which are just obviously, not football players, that pick him up and load him up in the truck and take him. I just think of all that. Yeah, totally.
Exactly. Yeah, dude. So anyway, R.I.P to Don Shula. I just want to make sure you had the same memory as me.
And I knew Dan Marino was from Pittsburgh. I think he's from the Steel City.
Oh,
right?
Of course, dude. Yeah, hell yeah. He's a Pittsburgh guy.
Totally.
Pittsburgh guy, Danny Marino.
I think about that a little bit.
UFC 249, couple updates now. Still going down this Saturday. No changes as far as UFC goes. And Dana White, did you see the interview he did earlier? I wish we could play sound. He did an interview earlier, and he sounded like me on the cast earlier. He was slamming the critics, all the people that were saying they couldn't do this and they couldn't get it done. And I wasn't saying they couldn't get it done. I was saying they shouldn't get it done.
Right.
Big difference. But nonetheless, he was very vocal about, and we talked about it. I mean, Dana White's kind of just been bullying his way through this. Not really. The only one that's been able to get him to slow down for a second and say, wait, buddy, just a second, is Disney. And Disney and ESPN, and that's because they hold the stick in which his events are broadcast on. So it was just interesting to me there. But did you see also that the UFC informs fighters they will be tested for COVID-19 before 249?
I think that's good. I think they absolutely should. Yeah. I mean, dude, I think they should be having their temperature checked, every few hours, but up until this point. And I think they should be tested because they have instant tests now. I think only the elitist can get these, where you can get results within, I think it's 5 or 7 minutes now. So obviously the general public doesn't have access to this. We can't get this. We won't get this. We won't see this, but the elitist, they should have that test. I think, an hour before the fight, and then all these different temperature checks throughout the time. Absolutely, man. I'm for that. If they're going to do this and they're going to put everybody at risk, which is our big complaint, dude, fuck your ego, fuck your UFC. Think about people's lives here. Yeah, I mean, I think they should have really strict parameters for sure.
Exactly. Well, check this out, Dal. So some of the measures they're taking: fight week meals and rehydration. Fight week meals are provided by the Trifecta Culinary Nutrition Department. Meals, snacks, and third-party supplements will be provided upon request. Each fighter has been assigned a specific staff member to handle his or her needs. After weigh-ins, fighters will be provided with more than 6 hours worth of hydration and nutrition. As far as social distancing, to limit direct contact, fighters and meal staff will designate a time for meal drop-off. Every morning, the staff will leave for drop-off and exchange weight tracking data with fighters and their teams. So this kind of stuff makes me feel so much better. The fact that they're taking a lot of these measures and a lot of these things into account, love it. And not that I didn't think they wouldn't. I just love that we're getting a confirmed statement saying that they are. I'm glad it doesn't, because when you have all this ranting and raving about Fight Island, it doesn't sound like, that sounds like Fire Festival, not like you're going to be taking the proper precautions. So I really, I think I'm really happy with this. It makes me feel better about watching the fight.
I'd say shout outs to them peeling back the curtain and really kind of showing us what it is. I think it's important that we know that. I think it's important that other sport entities know that as well, So shout outs to them, because Fight Island, just like you said, not only does it sound like Fire Island, it sounds like they just don't give a shit. Like, we're just
Fire
gonna make
Island.
this happen. Or Fire Festival.
Either way, same shit. Island on fire, whatever.
Fight Island Fire Festival. It's the same thing.
It's close.
It's close, but no, peeling back the curtain is very, very important in the times that we're in. Yep.
So check this out, man. Medical treatment and safety precautions, because this is another thing I was kind of concerned with. Athletes who request medical treatment will only be able to do so for injury and illness-related matters, as previously reported. Each fighter will have a PI medical staff member assigned to them. Fighters will be treated in a dedicated hotel room. The only people allowed in the room are the fighter and the doctor. No coaches, no teammates. Fighters will have a maximum of 40 minutes in the room. After the appointment, 20 minutes of disinfecting will take place in the room. Wow. Athletes will be required to wear protective masks during the treatment. Staff will be required to wear masks and gloves. If a translator is required to deal with medical issues, a translator can call in via FaceTime to translate, not allowed in the room. Before an appointment, an athlete will be required to shower and sanitize his or her hands. And then before entering a hotel room, an athlete's temperature will be taken. So those are all the measures that are going into this thing, which I love. Good shit.
Yeah.
Good shit from the UFC.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, so that's those are just some updates I wanted to fill you guys in. Obviously, we'll break down the card. Maybe we'll have Ed on. Maybe we'll do some stuff on Thursday as we get close to our first live sporting event in the U.S. and I can't tell you how long.
Wow.
I mean, unless you're watching Taiwanese baseball or some Korean table tennis or whatever else the hell they got going on.
Yeah.
Ping pong.
Yeah, totally.
This is it, bro. This is the first one back. And it's very unique. It's not going to be in front of a crowd, and it's going to be very interesting. But I'm excited about it. I am excited about it. As much as I was like really apprehensive and like, it just feels forced. I feel like the measures they're taking, I'm taking a step back and like, all right, good job. I'll stand corrected here. Now, if this thing goes off with a bunch of problems and a bunch of people getting sick and shit, then we might be talking about something different on Monday. But
you're going to be the first guy. I told you so. I told you.
No, I'm just kidding. I think they're doing everything they should do to keep this thing safe, man. After I read all that, I felt a lot better. Go ahead.
Phil B says they should have a Survivor style UFC, except you don't get voted off the island. You fight to stay on the island.
Ooh. What about that?
Yeah. Like last man standing without COVID wins. It's like king of the COVID mountain.
Sounds incredible. He also said, don't worry, fools. The Eels are live May 28th. The Eels. Wow. Nice, dude.
So Phil Beast went live yesterday on Instagram, and I was following him around on his bike riding trip.
Yeah.
He rode right by the sign that shows the exit where you can exit to go to the Parramatta Eels facility.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you call it a stadium out there. I don't know. So I said facility.
Guy, it's still a stadium.
It's still a stadium?
Yeah, I think. I mean, remember at that Glendale Raptors stadium they had over here was rugby. It was still called a stadium. That rugby stadium.
Right. Yeah, off of Colorado Boulevard,
so,
out east of that. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I think it's still Too Fly Daniel like Dal. Too funny, man. Ha ha ha. He's laughing at I don't even know what he's laughing at, but he's finding it hilarious. Misha Survivor Series. Damn it, Misha. You are good. We might need a third co-host in here, Misha.
Yeah.
I should have been up on that. Survivor Series. That's funny. That's funny as shit. Yep, it is a stadium, Rose says.
All right. Well, if Rose says that, I'm good to go then.
Let's go into some sneakers.
You want to see some sneakers, eh?
Yeah, I think oh shit, you got your Royal Toes in, didn't you?
Hell yeah, because your boy did the 2-day shipping.
Wait. Oh my God, Dow. This is like I guess let's just hit a couple of, because we got a lot of stuff in studio for you. So let's hit the
I got 3 things in studio.
Okay. Let's hit the Jordan 11 Low Concord bread release.
Okay. Let me get there real quick.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and pull those up for everybody. $5 from Chase in the chat. Get your $5 tacos tomorrow. Extra hot sauce is free. Rock chalk. Get 5 tacos tomorrow free. Where, Choner? Where's it at? Misha, I failed you, TTF. No, you didn't fail me, bro. You killed it. I wish I would have came up with Survivor Series. I wish I would have been quicker on the draw. I failed you, bro. I'm supposed to be here giving you guys the quick, witty shit. Yeah, I failed you, my man. There they are. Look at that. Family sizing.
Yeah, man. Family size, dude. There was a rumor early, which I don't know why this rumor even existed, but some people were saying early before the pictures and everything, they were talking like, oh, they're going to make the patent leather suede. I said, you're out your goddamn cotton picking mind. Get out of here. So obviously I paid no attention to those because a Jordan Low 11 has to be patent leather.
Right.
And these are no Jeters for sure. But yeah, man, I'm kind of excited for this. I'm not an 11 guy. I do have the 11s that just came out here recently, the Bred 11s. I think it's just so nostalgic. I don't really like to wear anything that has patent leather, but you know, if it has meaning to me and if it makes sense to me, this is not a shoe for me. I'm probably going to pass because I do like the colorways of this, and it doesn't have an extra amount of white, just like the 5s that just came out. I love the nostalgia around the 5s that just came out, especially because they're OG. That being said, this is not OG. It's not overwhelmingly white, so because I just hate wearing all white sneakers. But dude, this screams TTF, man. How excited are you for these?
You know what, dude? I was more excited earlier, and now all of a sudden, it's really weird. It's like lately, I don't even know what's going on with myself. The Royal Toes, you thought I would have been super out. For some reason, I liked them. These, I thought I was going to be super in. I do like 11 lows. I'm kind of on the fence. I'm kind of like,
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I wish I could tell you. When I first saw them, I was more in, you know, and now I don't know what happened here, man.
You're getting picky. You're getting picky in your old age.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, you are downsizing a lot of your collection. You and I have been selling a lot of stuff that we just don't have to have. And I think we haven't been buying more heat necessarily, but we're just buying stuff that we actually are going to wear versus stuff that we just had to have. And we're like, oh yeah, I could pull that off. Or, you know, then all of a sudden it just sits. And I mean, I've sold 7 pairs in the last like week and a half. I know you sold 4 or 5 at least. So, you know, I think maybe that's what this is. You're just like, if it falls in my lap and maybe I can get $20 off somehow because they sit for maybe 2 weeks, then are you in?
Right.
Would you be in after $20 off that?
I'm thinking, gosh.
Well, while you're thinking, you have a little bit of time. These are slated to come out June 20th. So we do have an actual release date. So, you know, check your calendars, do what you need to do. I don't think this is obviously a super hype shoe. There's no OG perspective. There's nothing like very viable. It is kind of a Bred, but in a weird, awkward way. Nobody's really looking at the outsole. So in no way is this a Bred low by any stretch. But the combination of 2 sought after shoes, Concord and the Breds, that's kind of a combination of this shoe. But if we look at combination shoes of the past, they kind of sit, right? They're just, it's just one of those things. So, but June 20th. So you have a little bit of time to decide, and you'll still look at images. I'm sure there'll be a shock drop, but you got time, my friend.
I think Misha's got it. The mix of Breds and Concords is what throws you off. Doesn't seem natural. I think you're right, dude. I think, just something about that is just not sitting right fully, you know? It's not terrible, but it's just not like, I got to have it.
Right.
So it's not sitting that way. What were you going to say? Sorry.
What if they would have taken the red outsole away and made it an icy, like the iced out bottoms that they've been doing a lot?
Well, that would have been a Concord then.
Right. You would have had a Concord low, essentially
a
new version with the icy bottom, Concord low. So yeah, I don't know.
I've been more in there. John King, clean shoe, but it doesn't look right. That's exactly what I'm saying, man. Something about it just has me apprehensive and doesn't have me. I'm on the fence, like not wanting to jump for whatever reason, you know? And maybe that's it. Just not maybe what Misha said, maybe what John King said. Yep.
It has a look of the cleat, like that red outsole, and kind of the traction of the outsole kind of makes it look like a cleat. When I first look at it and I look at it quick, it reminds me of a cleat that I would wear. Like it's more of a cleat than a daily shoe, I guess, from the looks of me. So I just, you know, it doesn't look appealing. That's all.
The little kid one, the tiniest one, looks so dope to me, though. If I had a little boy,
does it?
It does. If I had a little boy, dude, and we were going to a wedding, he'd be wearing those with his tuxedo.
That'd be sick.
Yeah, if I had like a little 3-year-old, if I had a little toddler running around him, me and my lady, he would definitely have those. Those are, yeah, man. Those are there, bro. Those are there.
Yeah, that's tight. All right. Well, so we have those.
Hold up. Let me correct myself really quick. Chase in the chat. My bad, Chase. I'm an idiot, bro. Gosh, I tell you guys this all the time. I'm an idiot sometimes. Chase gave us $5. That's why the tacos are free. He donated $5 in the super chat. I skipped over that and just read the comment like a moron. So thank you for the $5, Chase. That's why the tacos are free, because he gave us $5. So he said, he then followed up and said, nah, fella, I gave you 5, which will score you 5 tacos if you know where. I wish there were free tacos anywhere tomorrow except all your sister's houses, with the laughing emoji. Good one, buddy. Good one.
Nice.
Good one,
I like that one.
Nice burn.
Well, hey, you know what? $5 for tacos is way better than $5 foot long. So for that,
there you go.
I salute you. Yeah.
Tyler Buck, you might as well flush $180.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a shoe a lot of people don't like, man.
You ain't lying.
So, okay, go ahead, Del. What you got next, man? Sorry, I just want to catch that up.
So before we go into the shoes that we have in the studio, this is one that I don't know. I got wind of today. I don't know if people got wind of it in the last few days, so I might be a little bit late, but I think I might be on time for a lot of people that have not seen this yet. So I'm never a big Air Force guy. I don't think they're comfy. I think they're clunky. I don't come from the East Coast, where predominantly dominant down there in New York, especially. So I don't really have that relation. I like some of the collabs with Supreme, and I think it was CDG. I think that's a cool Air Force, but I'm not going to pay that money because it's an Air Force. The Travis Scott, all the different materials, I think are fantastic, but it's still an Air Force. I'm just not going to wear that type of clunky shoe. Now, this one is the new Air Force One React. Now, this is still going to be clunky. The silhouette still stays the same, but you're actually going to put React, which is one of my favorite cushionings out right now. I wear the shit out of, let's see here, Element 87s. I'm sorry, I'm looking at all my shoes here. And then I just have a Epic React. I've got a lot of different React technology shoes here. I don't have any basketball shoes, which I knew they put React for a little while, some of the Jordans, but this is intriguing to me. And there's a couple reasons. Number one, React. Can you make an Air Force comfortable? They're still a little heavy and they're still going to be bulky, but to have that React technology, I am really, really interested in that. And this is a all white shoe, which I'm not really a fan of. And then you have like that icy bottom, midsole, and outsole. I'm a little worried about how these get fucked up, but I take pretty good care of my shoes. But to me, they have a little bit of off-white vibe to them. We look at some of that material as I'm scrolling down here. Some of that same material they use, like it's like a netting material. They use that on the Off-White 5s that just came out, which I have to get eventually. I'll get when the right price falls for me. But they have some of that Off-White vibes, kind of the deconstructed look. And they definitely have some 3M. There's the 3M pictures there. So the laces, the swoosh, I think there's enough that is in this shoe that makes it interesting to me. I'm still a little worried about the bulkiness and still the weight of an Air Force One. It's like putting whip topping on shit. It's still an Air Force One, so you're still going to have the clunkiness. You're still going to have the heavy shoe that an Air Force is. But the 3M, the intrigue, me being intrigued by obviously the React technology to have a little bit more cushion in your step makes it better. So the things they've done to this shoe makes an Air Force One better. So I'm going to give it a try. I'm looking forward to it, but I think I'm going to be disappointed. That's what I would say.
I'm surprised, dude. I'm surprised you're even considering an Air Force One, but I know what it is. It's that React. You're very curious about the new technology and you want to see how it feels. Yeah, you want to see what's up with it.
So, and for $120, I'm not saying that's cheap by any means, but I'm saying instead of paying $180, $200, some of these other shoes, now we're paying $170 for premium materials on a Jordan 1. And by materials, you're putting a fucking leather patch instead of the nylon patch. Get out of here. You know what I mean? So 120 is cheap enough for me to possibly give this a try. And I think I'm looking forward to it. So something new.
That's very cheap. Dude, 120
Yeah.
for some new shit. Yeah, check it out. Plus, you could just go return it to the outlets if the outlets aren't if it's not.
Dude, the outlets just opened. Did you hear that?
I did not hear.
Dude, the Castle Rock outlets opened. I think they opened on the 1st, and supposedly they have all these like little feet traction pads where you have to stand and ensuring that you're 6 feet apart or whatever. So they did all these different things to make the outlets open, and I guess they're open, dude. I'm staying the hell away from those joints, but the Castle Rock outlets are open.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah,
you have to get down there, dude. When you gonna make your first trip, Dal?
Man, I don't know. I wanted to kind of get busy and get a job going by June 1st, which means I better be fucking getting on applications right now, because if drug tests, like in your case, are taking 3 to 4 weeks to process, shit, I better been doing that 2 weeks ago. But I still don't know how comfortable I'll be June 1st. So I've been watching a lot of self-help videos, a lot of like investment videos. I ordered a couple books off of Amazon, just trying to figure out where I can make my money that I have from selling a house work for me. So I'm getting more serious with that. And then as this COVID and things get a little bit better and a vaccine and a cure somehow gets a little closer, even though that'll probably won't be till next year, I just want to feel comfortable going back to work. And I'm not in a super huge rush. I think for me, it's more of a mental state. Like I want to get back to a normal job, and whether it's 9 to 5 or whether it's part-time, and just having a check every 2 weeks, whether it's small or big, I don't give a shit. Just as gratification. It's more for my mental state, but money situation's good. I'm good, man. I still can flip shoes. I can still, like, I sold the rims and tires yesterday, for God's sakes, to make, an extra $550. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just getting to the outlets, going shopping, going to malls as they open, which they aren't yet here. I don't know, man. I don't know when it's going to be right for me. I think it's just something in my heart that I'll feel, and that's it.
Yeah, it makes sense, dude. It makes sense. I think you got to feel like that. I wonder, I wonder how a lot of people are going to be when they start opening shit up. What's going to happen? What's going to be the, I've heard they're opening malls and stuff as early as Friday in a lot of places. And
right.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting, dude.
So did you hear about Georgia? So Georgia opened almost just full. They just went crazy, right? So within 3 days after Georgia opened all and let go of all its restrictions, they had 999 new cases within 3 days. So it's like,
really,
we're just not ready, dude. We're just not ready for this. We're not.
That's crazy. I didn't hear about that. I knew they had some more jumping cases. I didn't know it was that much. Jeez.
999, 3 days. Yep.
3 days. Wow.
3 days.
All right, let's get the sneakers going, bro. I know you got mad sneaks over there.
Yeah, man. What do you want to start with? Do you want to start with some J's, or you want to start with some higher end, maybe higher end fashion?
Oh yeah, let me see those J's, bro.
Okay. All right. So what we got here is, I'll show you one toe box, a little bit of Jordan 1 Royal toes here. Nothing too crazy.
How are they, Dal? How's the quality and everything?
The quality's not anything great. I've seen some people. So you remember when you got your Royal ones, right? And you almost thought, I think you made a video. You're like, did Nike send me a fake Jordan 1? Because you had 2 Jordan 1 Royals and they were totally different in terms of quality, right? One was super shitty, and then the other one was like really buttery. Do you remember that video that you made?
Yes, completely. Of course.
Dude. So these are very close to the same, these shoes together. Not one is better than the other. What I would say is the best part of the shoe, aside from the Nike Air and White, the white wings logo, which I think just really does well together, and then kind of the poor man's frag, as they're calling them, the black leather on this shoe is some of the nicest leather on this shoe. Okay. Which typically that's kind of the lower quality of leather, right? We look at how tumbled, we look at how soft the toe box is, the mid panels, how soft are they? The black leather on these is really nice. That is the best part of this shoe. Outside of that, dude, it is Game Royal quality for sure. That's it. There's just no better. It's no worse. But I have seen some people's toe boxes really nice, and maybe the other one doesn't match it, or maybe both are really nice. So it's kind of a pick of the litter, and you get what you get. But no, I think the shoe is awesome, man. And right now, having it this early because a lot of people didn't choose the 2-day shipping. They just have the
Right.
traditional shipping. Obviously, you're one of those with Misha. The resale is pretty good on these still. I think I could probably make after fees and shit on this size 10. I think I can make 260, 270 still. So that's good money. That's
Wow.
100 over
That's what those
retail.
Wow, shit.
So after tax or after fees and shit. So I thought about slinging this one, but no, man, I think it's an easy to wear shoe. You have blacks and blues, dark colors. It's going to be nice for the fall. Super, super wearable. And the quality is just kind of right in the middle, except for the black. Like I said, that black, dude, is really nice. You're going to see a lot of creases on this front toe box that just says how soft this black leather is. Outside of that, dude, I think it's great, man. I think black laces are the play. I'm going to keep the Royals in the bag. I'm not trying to mess with those. But yeah, nice quality shoe. It's decent, just nothing special.
Mm-hmm. I think when I get them in hand, I don't know. That's going to be a real tester because you know me, I'm not a royal blue fan, but I really did like the way that these had some different stuff going on, and we'll see what happens, dude. I wish I would have did 2-day. I didn't order them. The homie Misha did, and that's where he said he failed me earlier. He's like, "Yo, I failed you, TTF. I haven't even gotten shipping confo yet."
Oh,
or they
really?
haven't even shipped yet. Yeah. So
yeah,
that's where he said he failed me earlier. They're just chilling. So it's all good though, dude. It's not like, it's all good. They get here when they get here. If they come, cool. If they don't, cool. No worries, man. It's just sneaks. No big deal.
yeah.
But
Yeah, it's nothing you could do,
I was curious about the quality. I'm kind of bummed you said Game Royal, but
yeah,
what can you do? What do you expect?
Yeah, I wish the toe boxes, like, I would take the crappier, like, outer leathers that I was talking about, like the black leather in this case. I would take that as lesser and more stiff. Just give me some soft toe boxes for my toes. Like, I really love soft toe boxes, and also the mid panels. Like, that's what I love in Jordan 1s. Like, when I look at quality, in my opinion, I want a soft toe box and I want a soft mid panel. That's what makes my foot that has to wear these fucking shoes feel the best.
Right.
That's what I want. So I don't really care about anything else. So for me, having the black outer panels as the softer leather, like, that really doesn't do anything for me for quality. So again, Game Royal is probably the majority of the quality on these things, but I still like them. The color blocking, I think, is really nice.
Exactly. The color blocking.
And I don't have anything like them.
Right.
I don't have that color blocking in anything. So
what else you got, Dow?
All right, man.
Next up.
Shout outs to my man, Con Lee, coming in the clutch. I've given him credit already for these, but again, I really appreciate it. Gave me the oop on the size 10 Fear of Gods. The reason Jalal is not with us on the cast anymore, because I got the shoe. He didn't. Here it is. Here it is. For all you fools out there that want to see it. Now, the biggest problem with this shoe has been, if you look here, so on the plastic cage, or the plastic rubber cage, whatever it is, it's more like a rubber composite. You have seen on so many pairs just so many awful glue stains. Well, your boy, as you can see, got a pretty fucking nice
I was just going to
pair.
say, they look clean, guy.
Dude, there are virtually no glue stains.
Wow.
The only issue that I have is right here. So when you guys are looking at, it's probably to your left, but you can
move
see
it over
line
in front of the camera a little more, Dal. There you go.
How's that? So you can see a line right here, and that's not a glue stain. I think that's where they obviously put it together. Like, that's like a place that they, I don't know how to say it. Like, adhere it. Do you see that line though?
Yeah.
Right there. So that looks like an issue and it stands out, but I think that's just where they kind of put it together. And they did that with some of the Ultra Boost, some of the Adidas back in the day. That's kind of an eyesore for me. So I don't know if that's standard or if it's just this pair, but the glue stains, not bad at all. A little bit of glue stain on the toe box, but right there. But outside of that, right behind it is your 3M hit, which is super, super nice. It does come with 3 pairs of laces. You've got black, you've got white, and you've also got a cream, which is pretty cool. And then it does come with the Fear of God lace bag, which is super dope. The presentation is like very NASA oriented. It comes in like these like silver packages that look like military MREs would come in, like your food.
Yeah.
The packaging is super cool. Orange box, super huge. I have not tried these on. Phoebe says, dog, you are going to need your KY jelly to get those bitches on. So prepared. I did go true to size. There are so many people. Stay tuned. I'll probably give you guys a review. They've been in quarantine, so I haven't tried them on yet, along with my Jordan 1, because I got them both on Friday. So they've been in quarantine since Friday. So now I'm touching them. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to give everybody a pretty good review of my opinion on these because, dude, across the board, people are saying, go a half size down on the first gens that first came out with the Fear God ones. And I'm like, they didn't change the sizing. I know some black silhouette shoes kind of run tighter. You know, you look at Ultra Boost with the black prime knit, they seem to run a little bit tighter. That may be the case with these, but some people say half down, some people say true to size, and some people say go up a half size. Seth Fowler, in his latest review of these, said to go up a half size just because it's easier to get on. But dude, if I have a half or a full size left of my foot inside the shoe, but I went up a half size to get the fucker on, I don't need the shoe. I don't need to be swimming in a shoe, but I have to go up a half size just to get the thing on. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So I'm excited to kind of give everybody kind of my 2 cents on this. And I told Phoebe something like, man, Robin keeps the KY on lock. So I don't know if I'll be able to borrow any of that. You know what I'm saying? So
are you, Danny Belton says those are never going to see the light of day. Are you going to wear them? You busting them out?
I've got a couple fits, man, prepared. So yeah, man, maybe I'll get my Instagram popping because I've just been taking photos of shoes, which is cool. It's nice to see those. But dude, I think got to throw some fit pics in there. I got to take a lesson from you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. What else you got? Pics.
This is not in quarantine, unfortunately. So I'm breaking policy here, but I do have some hand sanitizer right here. So we're good. But I'll break this out. This is the multicolored Supreme fanny pack that just came out a couple weeks ago. And what I notice is it's really small, dude. I don't know if you can tell, but fanny packs.
Pull it back from the camera a little. It looks normal size there, but yeah, okay, all right.
But yeah, dude, like
a little bit small.
Let me give a comparison here. So check this
out. Why is that? Why is the Supreme shit always small?
It always is, right?
Right, every aspect.
Always is. So like this is the tiny Under Armour bottle. This is the smallest one they have. So just as a size comparison.
Body Armor bottle. Up a little bit. Bottle. There you go.
Sorry.
There you go. Perfect.
So that kind of gives you a size. You know, I can drink this Body Armor in 3 drinks. Mm-hmm. So just to kind of give you a size comparison, it's pretty small. It's almost what you would call dainty. And that might be a little feminine. It's dainty. Dainty. Yeah, man. The multicolored bitch, I think, is the way to go. They also had the black color, which is cool. But I don't know, man. This reminds me of like my dad has his house like decorated in Southwest, like Navajo kind of decor, a lot of Indian stuff. And this is, of course, those same exact colors. So maybe it just reminds me of my dad and how he decorates his house. So I think I'm going to keep it, man. I think it's cool.
That Supreme coin purse is ill. Danny Belton said.
Thanks, Danny B.
Supreme coin purse. I'm dead. No, but for real though, as you're saying this and as you're showing me this, well, if it is too small, I think my girl might be interested. Are you trying to sell that at all by chance?
I mean, I might like.
You gonna wear it?
I'll take it out of the package and I'll try it on and see. But if she's interested, I mean, shit, man, I'm always here to help out.
Bro, that fanny pack looks like you picked it up from a hawker in Peru. Fail beast.
Oh, for sure.
Glenn Cabrera, the last thing you want her to say is it's pretty small. LOL.
Right. That's pretty dainty.
I think that thing looks sick. I love the Supreme down the front. I think that part is really dope to me. That's the best part.
Yeah. It's tight. The colors are nice.
Super fire. Nice. Damn, Dow, tons of pickups this. We got the Royal Toes in, the Fear of God's in, the Supreme Fanny in. Crushing.
Your guy's broke. But guess what, man? The IRS.gov get your payment is back up and running. So
yes.
I checked it out. And guess what? Your boy is getting paid on Wednesday.
Yeah, boy. There you go.
Are you getting paid Wednesday? What's your update?
I checked mine. That's what it shows coming in Wednesday.
That's what's up, man.
Very excited about that.
I don't think I'm getting the full 1,200 though, based off of what I'm seeing. I think anything over 75K, you had like tiers after that. So I think I'll be getting like 800-900, which still I'm happy to have that.
Right. No doubt.
All
right, let me just hit this really quick as we end the show and wrap it up. For everyone that missed it earlier, Jalal's no longer a part of the show. John King, any word is JJ coming back? He's not coming back. He just burned bridges, dog. That's what it flat out. I'll give you guys the most brief synopsis I can give. He wanted an equal percentage of the company that Dallas and I have built. We're not going to give him an equal percentage of the company, so we couldn't come to agreement. That's fine. We couldn't come to terms. No problem. Jalal is not getting paid to do the show. Everything we make from the show, we put back into the show because the whole point of the show is to do a great show. We're hoping to build this up to a big show where we could all fucking get paid. But he came in wanting percentages and it was hammering us about percentages, tons of fucking, I need that. And we're not going to give him an equal part of the fucking show. He's not going to get a huge percentage of the show when he hasn't brought in what we've brought to the show, put the blood, sweat, and tears that we've done to the show. It just wasn't going to work out. So that was fine. All that's understandable. The part that's not understandable is when I asked him a couple weeks ago, hey, we're not going to come to an agreement on a percentage. Do you want to go do your own thing? He's told me to my face, or maybe on the call, me and Dallas, no, I want to keep rocking with the show. No, I'll keep rocking with the show for now, is what he said, knowing that he had his own podcast created in the background. He had his own podcast network created in the background. We weren't going to be a part of that network, and he was going to come on our show every week and use our audience until he took our audience as much as he could over to his network, and then he was going to say peace. I wasn't having that, so I just said peace. That's it. That's the best I can give it to you. If you have anything else to add, Dal, I mean, that's it.
No, I think that's
man. Who are you shouting at? I'm here. I'm not shouting, bro. I'm not mad. I'm passionate.
No, I think that's
my documentary.
Yeah, I mean, it all starts with not being able to reach an agreement, and I think that the toughest part to something like we're doing, right? Any small business doesn't technically start making money at least 2-3 years into their situation, and I think people are pretty lucky, right? You're putting everything back into there. So we even look at Stringer, like I think his dad, and then, the things that Stringer wanted to do outside the cast to make himself better. Great. And we're all here for it.
Yeah.
But we couldn't hold him here saying, well, dude, we'll pay you this and we'll pay you that. Like, if the cast isn't bringing money, and oh, by the way, we took on a studio, which Jalal knew that a lot of our money was going to the studio. And Jalal even invested a little bit, and I won't say what that number was, but he invested in the company. Well, before we even let him go, he asked if he could have the money back a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I don't even know what it was. And we gave it all back.
What do we do? Gave him a fucking rack, dude. $1,000, just like that. There you go, bro. There's your money back.
Yeah. So, we gave him everything.
We've been nothing but straight up, bro. That's why it was ridiculous. That's why the whole shit is just ridiculous about the whole thing, dude. We've been nothing but straight up. We gave the guy a platform to sell his vital supply shop, mask and gloves that all you fools bought. We gave him a platform to sell his shoes to you guys. We gave him a platform to sell his jewelry company to you guys. We did everything we could. We did everything we could to be cool to the guy. We gave him this fucking audience, this platform. If you guys want to follow the show, go follow his fucking show. But I ain't following the fucking show. I'm out. That's is what it is.
And like I said, from a business standpoint, we couldn't reach a percentage, what he wanted versus what we were willing to give, because this is all we have. And the crazy thing is, Franchise and I have said it to him and said it to many people, like, we don't have much. We still are working on something. So it's like, cool, you want a percentage of nothing. We don't have any money, but could we hit a big deal? Could we hit a big sponsorship? Yes, all those things could work. But long story short, if you can't come to an agreement of terms, then that's what it is. And
everything was fine, bro. Everything was literally fine. We just weren't coming to terms, and we were all going to leave it at that.
Yeah, that's all.
Said, wish you the best. He said he wishes us the best, but he doesn't wish us the best because he unfollowed us all on Twitter. He doesn't follow us anymore. And then he came in here in the chat and tried to fucking say his piece and his bullshit to get people to feel sorry for him, like we're cutting him out of something, like it's us. Fuck out of here. Get off my platform. Fucking ridiculous, man. So I apologize if that comes across the way it comes across, fellas. I love the shit out of you guys, man. And that's why you guys are here. I hope you sense that. I hope you know that. I hope you know that we enjoy doing this shit. Dallas and I are going to be here. We've been here. And the show is going to take multiple forms over multiple years. This is just another path, baby. It's another growing experience. Yeah. It's another move into the next direction. That's what's going on.
I'm running the back end here. I'm trying to produce. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing, but hey,
You're doing a great job today, Dal.
Thanks for giving me a chance, man.
Thank you for
I couldn't make the images pop up immediately. I'm trying to find them on my tabs, so I'll get better. But
Thank you.
I'm here for you guys.
Love it, Dal. Love it. Keep pushing, gents. Exactly. We are going to keep pushing. Thank you to Fly Daniel. Thank you to everybody that came through the chat today, rocked at the show, continued to support what we do. We're going to continue to do exactly what we do, try to bring you guys the best show we can possible. We're on our way to trying to get the quality back to where it was and get, the soundboard and all the shit that we had rocking, man. So as long as y'all are here, we're still here. And that's what it is. That's what it is.
Thank you for rolling with us, man.
Yep. So with all that being said, fellas, I guess we will talk to you fools on Thursday.
Thirsty Thursday. Later.